Now at 4 a.m., steady, heavier rain this morning as a second storm moves through Southern California. And we're now seeing problems on PCH. Mud, rock, and debris have come down onto the road. We're live tracking the continued threats in the Palisades burn scar.
But the rain did not stop this protest outside of Children's Hospital LA. The executive order by President Trump, they are now fighting.
Today in LA at 4 starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, February 7th, and here is a live look outside at LAX. You can see all the raindrops on the lens. You can still make out that the roads are slick there as people make their way into the horseshoe. Thanks for joining us, and good morning. I'm Adrian Arambulo.
And I'm Lynette Romero. Happy Friday to you, but it is going to be a wet one out there for sure. Before I came in, when I was first getting ready, my alarm first went off, it was pouring outside, and I thought, oh no. My shower cap might not be enough. I might actually need an umbrella. But then it slowed down, Belen. So it's kind of like starting and stopping, right?
Good. Yes, it's going to be active throughout the morning. I think throughout the morning commute, folks, we need to continue to plan ahead. It is coming down a bit heavier this morning. In fact, we had a flood advisory in effect around the San Fernando Valley, Santa Clarita Valley, because network is showing all of those scattered showers moving in the overnight hours, so the roads are very slippery right now, and there are pockets of moderate rain. That rain from the South Bay into the downtown area, and right now we do have that rain falling lightning near the Altadena area near the Eaton Fire zone, and also tracking what's happening over in the Pacific Palisades area, also seeing some light rainfall right there. Now the rain will continue for the first half of the day. It'll taper throughout the afternoon, but really the morning commute is going to give us a headache because on top of those slippery roads, that rain that's falling, we also have that low visibility. This is the view right now outside of our window. This is Universal Studios. So rain during the morning, drier during the afternoon. Temperatures remain cool. Coming up, I'm going to time out when the storm finally moves out. All right, Holly, I hope you're not busy this morning, but unfortunately when the rain increases, traffic incidents increase. What do you got for us?
Well, a lot is going on right now on the CHP log, all due to rain for the most part, Belen. I can tell you on my way into the station at some point on the West 134 near Glendale, all lanes were stopped due to a traffic incident. Take it slow out there. Give yourself lots of time to get to work, school, anywhere you need to be this Friday. West 10 near Francisquito Avenue, large pool of water in lanes here. This was also a multi-vehicle crash. We're noticing some backup for folks making their way towards the 605. Now in the Linwood area, there was a solo vehicle crash. This should clear shortly. East 105 near Alameda, some lanes were stopped. We're seeing minimal slowing for folks making their way towards the 710. Coming up, I'll take you to Long Beach. Adrian, Lynette, over to you.
Right, thank you very much, Holly. 4:03 right now. Well, it is wet and it is muddy in Malibu this morning. This new video shows a mudslide blocking a section of PCH overnight.
So the rain has been slow and steady all night long, but this damage that you're seeing right here, this really highlights the new concern in the Palisades burn scar. NBC4's Lauren Coronado is at PCH and Big Rock Drive. So it looks like maybe the rain has subsided a little bit, but nobody's letting their guard down, right, Lauren?
Lynette, Adrian, good morning. Absolutely. This is the lightest it's been all morning for me. The drive out, it was raining pretty heavily and steadily. So it was a tough commute, I'd say, out here. But right now, things are looking okay. Like Belen said, we can expect a little bit of transition between the rain, heavier at times, lighter. Right now, it's lighter. But I want to remind you that it's been a month since these fires sparked, since the Palisades fire sparked. And if you think about if we had these conditions a month ago, we may be telling a very different story. Right now we're on the corner of PCH and Big Rock Drive, where you already got a glimpse of that mudslide. I want to show you the aftermath because they've already been able to clear the road, but you can see those cones there. That's the big concern. That's one reason why PCH is closed, because of the concern of mudslides. And crews, they were quick to clear the road. PCH is still closed as a precautionary measure because of the rain and the concern of debris flow, just like what you're seeing right there. There are still emergency vehicles driving through PCH, which is why it's important the roads are clear. And there are many homes perched above PCH. The homes that were spared by the Palisades fire now facing landslide threats, and even the homes that were burned, destroyed. I spoke with a property owner this week who said he's still trying to save his plot of land from landslides. An unbelievably stressful time for those was impacted by the fire, and now this. It's a major concern for a lot of people in the area who are still checking back on their homes to make sure that they're okay through this rain event as well. Back out here live as you see the aftermath of that mudslide, that landslide. That's just one problem area. We know that some of the land has shifted from some of the hillsides in other parts of the Palisades burn zone area. We're going to go ahead and show you what conditions look like not far from where we're at coming up in the next hour. Reporting live in Malibu, I'm Lauren Coronado for Today in LA.
Lauren, thank you for that live update. Well, as this storm continues to move through Southern California, now is a really good time to download that NBC LA app that we tell you about. It sends weather alerts right to your phone, and then you can track the rain wherever you go.
As Governor Newsom continues to push for federal wildfire aid in D.C., he is announcing new measures to make California more fire resistant. He signed an executive order yesterday that will invest in firefighters, community hardening, and forest management. Part of that money will be used to update fire hazard maps. That could change building and planning requirements for communities at higher risk of fires. The requirements would include building homes with fire-resistant material, and it would also require homeowners in high-risk areas to create defensible space around their homes. Meantime, SoCal Edison says its equipment may be associated with the ignition of the Hearst fire in Sylmar. That fire started on January 7th, just hours after the Eaton and Palisades fires. It burned about 800 acres but did not damage any homes. The LA Fire Department continues to investigate the cause of the Hearst fire.
Developing right now, there is an effort to get Children's Hospital LA to reinstate hormone therapy for young transgender patients. Protesters held a demonstration outside the hospital last night. The hospital paused gender-affirming care for people under the age of 19 after President Trump signed an executive order threatening to pull funding from healthcare providers who offer the care.
To be a doctor is to want to save lives, and we know that providing hormone therapy when it is appropriate and when we have assessed the patient can absolutely save their life.
CHLA released a statement. It reads in part, current patients already receiving treatment will continue with their course of care. We continue to carefully evaluate the executive order to fully understand its implications. California Attorney General Rob Bonta says the hospital could be in violation of state law by withholding this care.
A search is underway in Alaska for a plane with 10 people on board, 9 passengers and a pilot. That plane disappeared shortly after taking off from Unalakleet on its way to Nome. It's a flight that takes less than an hour usually. The weather is making the search tough. It is snowing, the temperature just 16 degrees. Stay with Today in LA as we continue to bring you updates on this story.
This is it, the last day. The storm that we had move in overnight has caused some serious issues this morning in the form of street ponding, some slippery roads, and you may encounter some intersections that are a little flooded. So here are the impacts for this last bout of rain. Delays to the roads, that's the main thing. We do have minimal risk of that debris flow. The winds will be gusty in the deserts and mountains, so a moderate risk there, and not looking at any big impacts when it comes to that snow because the snow level is really high. This is a warm system. Now I want to show you the hour-by-hour forecast for the basin because we're going to start off the day with the highest chance for rain, and then gradually it diminishes as we go into the afternoon. The temperatures, those are chilly, starting off in the 50s, very cloudy and humid. Around the middle of the day, we'll have temperatures at 60 degrees, only a slight chance at about a 10%, and notice how that chance of rain goes down significantly during the afternoon hours. Now let me time it out for everyone. It's during the morning hours when we're going to have to use those umbrellas and be really safe on the roads. Here we are looking at the weather at 7 a.m. Although the accumulating rain seems to be coming to an end, it could still be a little misty out there and showery. Now here we are around the middle of the day. We're starting to see the clouds break up, and the afternoon commute is looking drier, the rain mostly out of the picture. We'll have some leftover clouds as we head into this evening and into tomorrow morning, but notice how this weather model is indicating so much drier conditions as we step into the weekend. And for our friends that are watching us in the deserts, the winds, those are going to be picking up for you. This morning it is breezy, and we're going to have some gusty conditions late this morning and during the early afternoon with gusts up to about 30 miles per hour. Now coming up, we're looking ahead of the weekend. Why not? Let's check on the traffic right now. Here's Holly.
All right, thank you so much, Belen, TGIF. We're looking at a mainly green map, but there are definitely spots where we're seeing some red, especially in the Carson area. We have lanes blocked following a solo vehicle crash. The vehicle involves facing the wrong way in the middle lane, South 405 near Wilmington. We see a little bit of a backup for folks making their way towards the 710. Let's talk roadway highway flooding. This is in the Long Beach area. CHP says lanes are flooded on the North 710 at the 405. In Buena Park, we have a semi-vehicle crash East 91 near Valley View. Now, about 10 minutes ago, they said all lanes are currently stopped. We are seeing a backup for folks making their way towards the 5. I'll continue to monitor this situation. Some good news out of Linwood, that solo vehicle spin out I mentioned at 4 a.m. East 105 near Alameda. All lanes are back open now. Taking a look at downtown LA, we're seeing some slowing on the westbound 10 in downtown LA, though. Everywhere else looks good. 110, 101, 5 freeway is clear. Take your time on the roads today. Give yourself plenty of time to get to work. It is wet out there. Coming up, we will check conditions in Sherman Oaks. Over to you at the desk.
Right next at 4 a.m., she died protecting her brother. The investigation into a stabbing that left a family heartbroken and searching for answers.
Plus, a bookstore turned safe haven. How a bookstore owner is helping her community turn a new page every day as they look toward rebuilding from the Eaton fire.
You're able to send firefighters there as soon as possible, and they get to the fire when it's something very small. It's a very easy thing to put out.
The technology developed by an Orange County teenager that could help firefighters fight fires before they spread.
On the next all-new Access Daily,
who will win Sunday's big game?
we're leaving it up to fate with our annual cake flip.
Then 90210 Forever, the iconic Jenny Garth is in the building. Next Access Daily.
Today at 1 on NBC4.
Perfect for Valentine's. Diamond studs, 69. Stackable bands, 169. 3-stone rings, 179. Half carat, 499. 1 carat, 799. And 1 carat studs, 499. Guaranteed to appraise for double. The Jewelry Exchange, Tustin.
If you've been injured, call us now, day or night. Our team is available 24/7. Don't wait until morning to get the help you need. You're ready to take action, and so are we. We're the Law Brothers.
Call 1-800-222-2222.
Rise, 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 and thrive. No pizza.
These hands cook for 30 people 3 meals a day. I can't stop when I have dry hands. I trust O'Keeffe's.
It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief.
If it works for these hands, it'll work for yours.
Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet.
Jerome's President's Day event just got even better.
Score huge savings with this exclusive offer. Sleep better on our Galaxy Queen pocketed spring mattress for $698 and get the adjustable base free. Or save up to $1,000 on top mattress brands like Heirloom and Tempur-Pedic.
Plus, we give you the freedom to choose your savings.
Choose between 60 months, no interest financing, we'll pay the state sales tax, and now free expedited shipping.
Jerome's President's Day event, going on now.
Aftermath of the devastating wildfires. Stay with us right here, because recovery isn't the end, it's just the beginning. NBC4U.
413 right now, as part of our celebration of Black heritage, we shine a light on the resilient community of Altadena, where deep cultural roots and rich history are now giving way to a new chapter of growth and renewal. NBC4's Carmen Dickerson brings us the story of an Altadena woman whose bookstore didn't burn in the Eaton fire, but it has been transformed into a resource hub and a healing haven for the community.
Octavia's bookshelf has been a lifelong dream realized for Nikki High.
I wanted a place like this to exist for me and my friends when I was younger.
In the nearly 2 years since she's opened the only Black-owned independent bookstore in Pasadena, entrepreneurship, particularly in a niche market, has brought its ups and downs. But on January 7th, it set Nikki and her community into freefall.
There's nothing else left, like there's no neighborhood. It doesn't feel real.
However, she quickly realized her business had been saved. She began offering evacuees access to electricity and internet.
People showed up. So then, I said, oh, well, maybe I should get some food and water.
As people requested more help, Octavia's bookshelf put out a community call for donations, pulling the books down.
We started to, put air purifiers on the shelves.
And putting the donated items up for grabs, serving about 500 people over 3 weeks.
it felt really full circle to be able to help people who helped me open the business, stay in business.
Now a quirky sidebar is driving business. Octavia's bookshelf was named for an acclaimed Pasadena native, the late Octavia Butler. And one of her works, Parable of the Sower, is getting a lot of attention in the wake of the Eaton fire for what some see as a prophetic narrative it tells of a Los Angeles in the midst of climate change, economic unrest, and an apocalyptic situation. Now, this was published in 1993, but early on in the book, there's an entry, February 1st, 2025. The first line, "We had a fire today." The store is now back in the book business, just in time to accommodate the rush of people looking to buy and join the reading group for Parable of the Sower. Still, the store is making space to keep meeting the moment.
This book is about a family who is being evacuated because of a wildfire.
Stocking stories to help kids cope with the disaster and families prepare. There's also a giveaway section with not just free books for evacuees.
We just tried to think of everything.
But even reading glasses.
She has a family, she knows who needs air purifier.
And health and wellness items.
But this is going to be so important for people who are in this area.
Anything to help the community literally breathe easier. In Pasadena, Karma Dickerson, NBC4 News.
New technology created by a teenager in Orange County could soon help fight wildfires. It's a sensor that can detect a fire when it's a little more than a spark, allowing firefighters to mobilize quickly and stop the flames before the fire gets out of control. Ryan Honoré was inspired to create this technology after the Camp Fire in Northern California. And in the 5 years since, he has developed a network of sensors that use AI to analyze heat and smoke data. The sensors then alert firefighters with exact coordinates, buying firefighters precious time to respond.
With greater than 1,200 feet of line of sight and around 300 feet of non-line of sight, we're able to detect a fire that's smaller than 1 foot.
All right, amazing. Motivated by the growing intensity of wildfires like the Palisades and Eaton fires, Ryan has continued to work on his design since 5th grade. He's won several awards, but this coming Monday will be his first real-world test. The Sensory AI sensor will be installed in Irvine.
All right, so our fingers are crossed. Everything's crossed. We're hoping that he breaks the leg, has the best of luck. But working at since 5th grade, though, that's amazing.
I mean, that's really the future, right? These kids really get it. They know what to do. And, you know, we have to just give them the land to do it, to make it happen.
Yes, and as technology advances, we need that youth to continue to study. That way we can fine-tune all of this forecast, because science, it's hard to nail. It's hard to get down. Guys, about a month ago, we were here talking about the Palisades fire, and now here we are looking at rain behind us. So this morning, we have a flood advisory that's been issued over the Palisades fire area. Let me show you this. I talked about it briefly, but now we got a graphic to go along with it. A flood advisory was in effect until 4 a.m. for parts of the San Fernando Valley, and now it's been extended until 6:30. And you notice that it covers the Palisades fire, the Eaton fire, the Hughes fire, the Bridge fire. Now, places like Simi Valley, LA, West Covina, through the I-5 corridor. This morning, we had some light to moderate rain move through that area. It's still falling, and we have reports of flooding over freeways and ponding at intersections. So through about 6:30, we're going to see some rainfall in this area, a possibility also for some shallow debris flow. So just a reminder that if you encounter an area or a road that is flooded, don't risk it. You don't know the depth of that water, and there may be some other hidden dangers, so find an alternate route. It's during the morning hours when we're going to have this consistent rainfall. It's widespread, and it is causing some very slippery roads. Holly is back there working on traffic, and she's really busy. And all this runoff, again, causing water quality issues. This usually happens during and after a rainstorm, but because of the fires that we had in January, fire debris is also running off into the ocean water. So a reminder that there is a closure until further notice from Las Flores State Beach all the way towards the Santa Monica State Beach. So stay out of the water. It is dangerous. Now, the wind advisory, on top of the rain that's falling, we also have some gusty winds through the mountains and also the deserts. This is in place until the middle of the day. The gusts here could get up to 50 miles per hour, so damage to tree, blowing debris, but also causing some very treacherous travel conditions. Just a big impact to travel. Temperatures, those are in the 50s from the coast up to the Cactus, and Big Bear has 37 degrees. Now, during the afternoon, here's what I've got for you. The temperatures are actually a little milder than yesterday, and the reason for that is because once the rain moves out, we'll get to a bit of sunshine this afternoon and some drier conditions. So the afternoon commute does look drier, and the temperatures will be a tad warmer in the 60s, still below normal. You still need the sweater or jacket, but I just want to show you the influence of just having a little more sunshine and dry conditions. Our numbers are going to be in the 60s today instead of the 50s that we had yesterday. And looking ahead to the weekend, we got a great weekend. We're going to be drying out. The sunshine returns. We'll have a few high clouds. The numbers are still below normal. We'll have 60s from the coast to the Basin, Orange County. We could get into the 70s on Sunday for the valleys and the IE, and the mountains will have temperatures in the 50s. Now we'll jump ahead to that 7-day forecast, because after today, we could put away the umbrellas. The weather dries out through early next week. You notice the numbers stay cool. But for the middle of next week, we have another chance for rain with temperatures come down into the 50s again. The forecast in the valleys and Inland Empire, again, the rain in the morning, during the afternoon, the rain tapers during the weekend, slightly milder. And then next week, we'll be watching that next storm system. It's still several days away, so we'll keep fine-tuning this forecast during the dry period. The high desert, you got wind and you got rain this morning, 60s this weekend. We'll have pleasant temperatures over in the low desert, upper 70s. And in the mountains, watch out for rock slides this weekend, temperatures in the 50s. And that next storm next week could bring us a chance for some snow. That QR code on the bottom of the screen takes you straight to the forecast from the First Alert Weather Team and to where you live in your neighborhood. So scan it, stay safe. Here's Hollywood traffic.
Thanks so much, Belen. Traffic busier than normal in this hour just because of the rain. I will tell you, it was a soggy commute as I came into work this morning in Pasadena, west 210 near Allen Avenue. I'm hoping this just cleared because 5 minutes ago there was a bit of a backup on the west 210 heading towards, Orange Grove Avenue. Lanes were temporarily stopped for a solo vehicle crash. Thankfully, green at this time, so hopefully this means that is over with and all lanes have been reopened. South 405 near Wilmington, we had a vehicle facing the wrong way. Again, when I mentioned this around 5-7 minutes ago, there was a backup, lanes blocked, but now it looks good for folks making their way towards the 710. Just a reminder, we do have some flooding in the Long Beach area, north 710 at the 405. South 405 Drive, Mission Hills to the 105, 25 minutes right now. Speeds in the upper 60s. All looks good through North Hills, Van Nuys, Sherman Oaks, and also Bel Air. Coming up, I will take you back to the Buena Park area. Adrian, Lynette, over to you.
All right, see you soon, Holly. Thank you. 422 right now. It is a big year for SNL as they celebrate 50 seasons.
And some big names are being announced for SNL's 50th anniversary special. Stick around to hear who.
Plus, how long the former interpreter for Shohei Ohtani will spend behind bars for stealing millions of dollars from the Dodger star.
It's At Home in the Valley, a warehouse full of rugs. Too many rugs, way too many rugs. It's time for a sale. Save on thousands of rugs in stock. Take one home today. Modern, traditional, shag, solids, and textures, all at low, low prices. Roll runners for stairs and hallways, any length you need. Since 1979, At Home in the Valley, 16531 Satakoy Street, Van Nuys, 818-780-4663, online at athomeinthevalley.com.
This one goes better with the walls.
This is so much easier than the home improvement store.
So which would you recommend?
Do you like brown?
Yeah, some things are just better at home. With Empire's Home Floor Advantage, you can compare samples in your own space. Plus, I'll be here to help you with every step of the process.
Call or visit EmpireToday.com and get the Home Floor Advantage.
It really is better at home.
800-588-2300. Empire Today.
It's time to Dare to Compare! President's Day edition. My Verona sofa versus the competition similar sofa. Both have power reclining seats and headrests, USB ports, and top grain leather. But only mine has Popapedic memory foam, a drop-down table, and is $400 less than theirs. Plus, mine's got George Washington, and theirs has John Tyler?
That's the first time anyone said my name in 163 years.
See how much you can save when you dare to compare this President's Day at Bob's.
6 p.m.
That was a crazy turn of events.
And every hour in between, NBC4's there.
This school bus now being towed away.
Breaking news in real time. Preparing you, informing you, diving deeper into the stories impacting you. NBC4, we're not just in the community, we're part of it. From the air to the ground, no matter the screen. From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., trust NBC for you.
424 right now. The former interpreter for Dodger star Shohei Ohtani has been sentenced for stealing nearly $17 million from the world champ's bank account. The judge handed Ippei Mizuhara nearly 5 years in prison for bank and tax fraud. He also must pay back the $17 million plus more than $1 million to the IRS. He's scheduled to surrender March 24th.
Time now for Hollywood Buzz. NBC has added a long list of A-listers to its upcoming celebration of the 50th anniversary special of Saturday Night Live. Among the newly announced guest stars are Martin Short, Sabrina Carpenter, Pedro Pascal, Kim Kardashian, and many more. Additional guests will be revealed in the days leading up to the special. The live event will celebrate half a century of iconic SNL sketches and performances. You can watch SNL 50, the anniversary special, next Sunday, February 16th, live on NBC4 and Peacock. Looking forward to that.
I'm ready for it. We've been talking about it for a while.
I know, it's going to be great. Can't wait. 'Cause
Yeah.
all those huge names, and then you
Yeah.
get all the skits from the past.
Yeah, fun stuff. All right, still ahead. People impersonating immigration officers.
The major warning this morning, the message from LAUSD superintendent, and the help now being offered to families.
I'm John County's Clean Live this morning in Altadena. Very wet. Altadena, the rain continues to be pretty steady through this area, but things are getting put together here to make sure that we don't see any of these debris flows that we've been worrying about here. We're going to show you what they've got planned out coming up.
And we're going to give you a live look now at Universal City. Meteorologist Belen de Leon will have another look at your forecast coming up right after this break.
Perfect for Valentine's. Love bracelets, $1.99. 1-carat heart solitaires or studs, $5.99. 2-carat, $11.90. 1-carat bands, $6.99. 5-carat lab diamonds, $39.90. Guaranteed the lowest price. The Jewelry Exchange, Tustin.
If you've been injured, call us now, day or night. Our team is available 24/7. Don't wait until morning to get the help you need. You're ready to take action, and so are we. We're the Law Brothers.
Call 1-800-222-2222.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-523-9696 for free information and your free gift. That's 1-800-523-9696. 1-800-523-9696. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
Now at 4:30, what started the deadly Eaton fire? That is the question. Well, the new video, the investigation into the origin, and what Southern California Edison is saying this morning.
Plus, a woman stabbed to death after trying to protect her brother. A family is heartbroken, looking for answers.
Today in LA at 4:30 starts now.
It is Friday, February 7th. It is a wet and rainy start to your morning. We have live team coverage to help you get where you're going safe and also to navigate your day. Good morning to you. I'm Lynette Romero.
And I'm Adrian Arambulo, and we're going to start off by checking in with meteorologist Belen de Leon, who's got the latest on this storm's track, and some places getting hit really hard, Belen.
Yes, so much so that a flood advisory has been issued. Hi, everyone. This is it, the last round of rain, and for the third morning in a row, we're dealing with a slippery commute. You can see those showers, how they moved in the overnight hours, and right now, here's what we've got, that rain that's extending from the South Bay through LA County into the San Gabriel Valley and, of course, into the mountains. And a flood advisory has been issued over some of our burn scar areas. We can see the very wet weather right now along the 210. So our freeways right now are very wet. And it does look like in the Pacific Palisades area, the rain is falling very lightly. But with the light to moderate rain that has been falling in that area, a flood advisory has been issued over the Pacific Palisades, burn scar, also out towards the Eaton area and West Covina, LA, the San Fernando Valley through Santa Clarita. This is where a flood advisory is in effect until 6:30. You could expect some ponding on the roads, possibly some flooding near those intersections, and shallow debris flow. Now, the rain is going to be with us for the first half of the day, but during the afternoon, it's going to be tapering off. So I'll be back to take a look at the timing. Holly Haniel is here. She's going to help us get through this slippery morning drive.
That's right. We're seeing a lot more accidents in the 4 a.m. hour, and I am blaming this all on the rain. It's slick out there. Be safe. We're back in Buena Park. Around 20 minutes ago, I mentioned a wreck involving a semi on the East 91 near Valley View. All lanes temporarily stopped. Also, the Valley View on-ramp is closed. We're seeing more delays for folks making their way towards the 5 freeway. I will continue to keep you updated on the situation. I plan to call CHP to get more details to share with you. In Pasadena, a wreck that I just mentioned a few minutes ago has cleared. All lanes open on the West 210 near Allen Avenue. North 5 Drive, Downey to the 134. 22 minutes right now. Things look good through Downey, Commerce, and also East Los Angeles. Back to you at the desk.
All right, thank you, Holly. 4:31 right now. We're monitoring the rainfall in the Eaton burn scar.
So the rain from these storms, it's been light, right, but also very consistent. And the foothills have the potential to be a big problem.
NBC4's John Caddy's Climac Live on 10 Oval Drive. And John, there's a home there that survived the fire, but now measures are being taken to protect it from mud and other runoff. How are they doing that?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, so this is one of those areas where you got some homes that survived and a lot of homes that didn't. So where we are right now, we're actually right at the entrance of the Altadena Crest Trail. So if you're familiar with this area, a very popular hiking spot here. The K-rails were put out earlier this week just in anticipation of these 2 storms that we had. In the event that anything starts to come down these hillsides, the idea, of course, is to make sure that they don't come beyond this. So this is really guiding whatever comes down the hillsides, specifically to where they want it to go, so it doesn't affect any of the homes that are left behind. We did notice that some of these homes that did survive, people have put out these sandbags to make sure that any damage that comes through is minimal to whatever is left here. You see that sign there, Altadena not for sale. We've been talking a lot about that, the folks that are staying behind and those who want to rebuild. There's a lot of work to be done out here, but as we see these storms come through, the concern, of course, is that we don't want to re-victimize anybody. And there's a lot of runoff that they're concerned about getting out to the ocean and so on. So the idea is to keep all this cleared out. Anything that comes down, this is going to stop it. Sandbags as well. We are seeing quite a bit of rain continue to flow through. It's not necessarily heavy. It's this, I would almost say it's more like a strong mist right now. But as we were driving up Lake Avenue to get up here, there was quite a bit of water coming down the street there. And it's that, dark water because what it's basically running off and washing off and heading down that way. But the idea, again, is to make sure that we're not having any more damage as a result of all this. We did see some public works crews out here already, including the plows as well, just on standby in the event they're needed. We'll keep you updated if there's any changes to that. For now, reporting live in Altadena, I'm John Caddy's Climac today in LA.
Yeah, preparedness and heightened awareness all around. All right, well, this is the concern that we're talking about. We've been talking about it all week long since the rain started. New video shows a mudslide blocking PCH at Big Rock Drive. Caltrans mobilized very quickly to remove the mud. We'll show you a live look right now at PCH and Big Rock Drive. Now, remember, PCH is still closed and remains closed through this storm because of the threat of possible mudslides. Well, today marks 1 month since the deadly and destructive Eaton fire started.
Now, Southern California Edison is sharing new information about their investigation. NBC4's Brittany Hope live in Pasadena with new video and what the utility company is saying now. Brittany, good morning.
Hi, good morning to you both from a very rainy Pasadena. You know, over the past month since this fire started, we've shown you multiple videos showing how the fire might have started. Now, we do want to be clear that the cause of the fire at this point is still under investigation, but it does seem that it started in the hills above Altadena. This morning, we have a new perspective to show you. So take a look at this video. It's a very short clip, so we'll loop it. It shows the first moments of the fire and the flames below a specific electrical tower. That tower is an old decommissioned SoCal Edison tower. That means its lines no longer carry electricity. But yesterday, SoCal Edison filed a document with state regulators saying it's exploring the possibility that somehow that dead line was momentarily energized in the high winds on the night of the fire. And the utility is exploring the extent to which that line or its grounding could be related to the cause of the fire. The president and CEO of Edison International spoke about the investigation yesterday.
The cause of the Eaton fire remains unknown. Like you, we have seen information like videos shared by external parties of the fire's early stages. These are concerning, and they may suggest a possible link to SCE's equipment.
And a few weeks ago, we showed you this video. It was captured from the surveillance cameras at the gas station where we are live right now in Pasadena. It shows sparks falling from the area of those towers on the night of January 7th. When this video was released, Edison said it was continuing to investigate the possibility its equipment played a role. LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger reacting to SCE's filing.
The fact that they came out with the statement tells me that they may know something that I don't, obviously, but the investigation should be completed in the next few weeks, and we'll take it from there.
So back out here live, yes, we have the Eaton fire. We also have the Hearst fire. You may remember that last month it burned 800 acres in Sylmar. Yesterday, SoCal Edison now admitting their equipment may be associated with that fire, but they didn't yet share how. Live in Pasadena, Brittany Hope for Today in LA.
All right, Brittany, thank you. 4:36 right now. Former Vice President Kamala Harris is promising to do her best to help communities impacted by the Palisades fire. She toured some of the destruction in Pacific Palisades yesterday alongside LA County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath. She also stopped by the Westwood Recreation Center where there are resources for fire victims. 2 weeks ago, the former vice president also visited the Eaton fire zone, thanking firefighters and passing out food to the community. LA Mayor Karen Bass was also in the Palisades yesterday assessing the progress of all the debris removal. She joined EPA leaders as they continue phase 1 of the removal process. The parking lot at Will Rogers State Park will serve as the temporary site for hazardous household materials removed from the homes. Earlier this week, we learned that 4.5 million tons of debris was created by both the Palisades and Eaton fires. That's close to half of what LA County would have for an entire year.
We are hearing from the family of a woman killed protecting her brother during an attack in downtown Los Angeles. Police say 28-year-old Mandy Torres was stabbed multiple times during a party on January 26th. They say she intervened when her brother was attacked by a group of men. We spoke with Mandy's sister, who says she loved giving back to her community.
Growing up, she looked up to me, and I used to think that I was too cool for her. And little did she know that I looked up to her. I get messages saying like, Mandy changed my life. Mandy made me go to college.
There will be a funeral today for Mandy. Police have charged 24-year-old James Lopez in connection with her death.
4:38 right now. LAUSD confirms 3 cases of ICE impersonators within the last week. 2 cases were reported by parents and students. The 3rd case was reported by a bus driver. The superintendent says all 3 instances were not on school property, but happened to either students, parents, or school employees. We've reached out to ICE for comment about these specific incidents, but have not heard back. If you're concerned, the district is reminding families that there are resources available on its website. And today, NBC4 and Telemundo 52 are teaming up with legal experts to answer any immigration questions you might have, from procedures to paperwork. They are ready to take your calls starting at 5 p.m. Call the number right there on your screen. The lines will stay open until 6:30 p.m.
All right, it is 4:38 right now. Coming up, Valentine's Day is next week, and you could help make it extra special for some children in the hospital.
Yeah, we're going to give you a look at the selection of Valentine's Day cards and how you can get involved and help them out straight ahead.
The rain has mostly been beneficial over our area, but now this is day 3 of rain, and we're starting to see some saturated soils and a possibility for some flooding in some areas. A flood advisory has been issued. The view right now over downtown LA showing very soggy conditions. Coming up, I'm going to time out when the rain finally moves out. Here's Holly.
All right, thanks so much, Belen. I just got off the phone with CHP moments ago, and I was told this accident that I've been following for over 20 minutes in Buena Park was a fatal collision, a triple fatality, sadly. East 91 near Valley View. This is now a SIG alert. All lanes are closed. You'll need an alternate route. Delays start at Shoemaker. You can use Artesia Boulevard or Ornsthorpe Avenue, which runs parallel to the East 91. I will continue to keep you updated on this crash. It's 4:39. You're watching Today in LA.
Escape to a vacation at Circus Circus. Experience the thrill of the Adventure Dome. 5 acres with more than 25 rides to keep you on the edge of your seat. Ride our newest attractions, Nebula Z, Twists and Teacups, Circus Swings, and Little Sprinter Raceway. More rides, more excitement, an experience for the entire family. Life's a circus. Let's play!
When migraine strikes, do you question the trade-offs of treating? Ubrelvy is another option. It works fast, and most have migraine pain relief within 2 hours. You can treat it anytime, anywhere. Tell your doctor all medicines you take. Don't take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Get help right away for allergic reactions like trouble breathing or face, tongue, or throat swelling, which may occur hours to days after use. Common side effects include nausea and sleepiness. Migraine pain relief starts with you. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Ubrelvy.
The law requires most commercial vehicles to carry big insurance policies. So whether you're hurt by a delivery truck like this, or hurt by a dump truck like this, or big bad monster trucks like these, you could have a big case worth big money. That's what my brother and I do. We win big truck cases. We've won hundreds of millions of dollars for our clients. Call us. We're the Law Brothers.
Call 1-800-222-2222.
During Jerome's President's Day event, save big on your new living room. Like this power reclining sofa with dream seating for just $12.99 and get the reclining love seat free. Or this power reclining sofa with power headrest, drop-down table, and wireless charging for just $19.99. Get the power reclining love seat free.
Plus, we give you the freedom to choose your savings.
Choose between 60 months, no interest financing, we'll pay the state sales tax, and now free expedited shipping.
Going on now.
Hospital LA wants to make Valentine's special for their young patients. They want the day to be extra special, and they need your help. They're asking you to send a Valentine's Day card. So you do this online. Basically, you pick one of these cards. So there's a unicorn jumping over the moon. There's a rocket-riding koala bear, cute one. A one-eyed alien in a spaceship. You fill out a message, maybe a joke, and then they'll be printed out and delivered to patients on Valentine's Day.
It's just extra special because when you see this outpour of messages and love that's being sent in from the community, that people are thinking of them and caring for them and sending their love, it's just really encouraging.
So you might remember we sent out this request last year, and you know what? The hospital received a record number of Valentine's Day cards. So this is video of the kids getting them along with goodie bags. You can see how special the gesture is, right? Look how happy they are. Now, if you want to send a card, it's super easy to do. There's a link on our website. All you have to do is search Valentine.
I'm going to do it right after Today in LA. And like you had mentioned, I mean, you can see the reaction, the instant reaction there, the smiles on the kids' faces. You can see here going through that bag there, looking through the car.
It's super cute, and you know, it's a great thing to do with your kids. It's a great, you know, activity with your kids. They, you know, get together and do it, and then you'll just know that you've made somebody's day out there. So.
And really so we broke a record last year, you said?
We did.
So let's break a new record this year.
Make a new record. We love a little sunshine in the morning. Please keep your bright spots coming to us. Share the good news that's out there. You can reach out to me directly on social media. I'm at Lynette Romero. You can also use that hashtag Today in LA Bright Spot. You can email me at lynette.romero@nbcuni.com.
Inside the locker room at the NFL Experience, we'll take a closer look at the fans and the teams and if they're ready for this weekend's big game coming up from New Orleans.
And our local teams might not be in the game, but Compton native Kendrick Lamar will be there to represent Southern California. Why he says the mega stage of doing the halftime show means more than just putting on the show.
GIA Diamonds, lowest prices ever. The Jewelry Exchange has natural 1-carat GIAs just $19.90. Custom mounts are just $4.99. Carat 50, $29.90. 2-carat, $59.90. Thousands of diamonds guaranteed the lowest price. The Jewelry Exchange, Tustin.
It's your moment. It's another handpick. Morongo's new high-limit room is awesome. Having a cheer with friends. Everybody having fun. It's a good day. You know this is your day, and you're the winner. Morongo, good times.
It's At Home in the Valley, a warehouse full of rugs. Too many rugs, way too many rugs. It's time for a sale. Save on thousands of rugs in stock. Take one home today. Modern, traditional, shag, solids, and textures, all at low, low prices. Roll runners for stairs and hallways, any length you need. Since 1979, At Home in the Valley, 16531 Satakoy Street, Van Nuys, 818-780-4663, online at athomeinthevalley.com.
Shop Mathis Home during the Presidential Savings Event for big values on brand new arrivals. We have the largest selection of sofas with all the styles you love at unbeatable prices. Brighten up your living room with this neutral sofa from Ashley. It's an incredible value at just $4.99. Just one of over 100 great sofas in stock ready to enjoy tonight. Come see the style, selection, and value during the Presidential Savings Event at your furniture superstore, Mathis Home.
Save up to 80% at the Jewelry Exchange. Quarter-carat studs, $69. Huggies, $149. Tennis bracelets, $5.99 per carat. 2-carat 3-stone rings or studs, $19.90. Guaranteed to appraise for...
So wherever you live in SoCal, the NBCLA app delivers the most accurate local weather tailored just for you. Now we're starting to see some activity.
Winds are only going to strengthen and intensify. Track your favorite locations, check air quality reports, and manage alerts and radar settings with fast and easy customization. Stay safe and ahead of the weather wherever you are.
Download the NBCLA app now in the Apple App Store or Google Play.
Because your weather, your way, starts here.
Well, the Super Bowl is now just 2 days away from kickoff. A lot of people think we're wearing red for the Chiefs, but we're actually wearing red for heart health and awareness. But you know what? The hype is real in New Orleans.
NBC's Jay Gray joins us live from the city known as the Big Easy with a look at how the teams and city are getting ready for Sunday's showdown.
Hey, Jay.
Hey there. Good morning, guys. Yeah, we're inside the NFL shop.
A big time in the Big Easy.
New Orleans is awesome. The food, the excitement, the buzz of the Super Bowl. It's great times all over.
It's a city made for a party, and this weekend, New Orleans is hosting the biggest bash of the year. From the French Quarter to the NFL Experience, there's a little something for everyone here.
It's been awesome the whole time. Do some tours, eat a ton of great food, and then we've been here today. So it's been amazing.
But for the Chiefs and Eagles, this is a business trip.
It's all about your focus. It's all about keeping the main thing, truly.
The planning and practice just about over now. Players on both teams anxious to get to game time.
A lot of guys don't get the opportunity to play in this game, so I'm just going to take advantage of it and make the most of it.
The most of it for the Chiefs would be NFL history. The team looking to win their third Lombardi trophy in as many years, a three-peat, something that's never been done.
I think more than anything, it's just to be able to win. I know that sounds easy, but to be able to win with the team that's around you is something that's special and that the greatest do.
Both teams looking for greatness, and fans looking to have a great time.
Yeah, they should have a great time here in New Orleans. Again, we're inside the NFL shop. Sorry for the technical problems earlier, but anything you want having to do with the Super Bowl, you can find inside the NFL shop. You can't be here for the Super Bowl. You know what? You can order it online. But take a look. The teams have all of their gear here, and you've got just generic Super Bowl gear, but you've got the Chiefs on this side, as you can see right over here. And as you walk down and across the area, you'll have the Eagles as well. And guys, I know you were talking earlier about Kendrick Lamar. Come with me over here. Kendrick Lamar, one of the designers that's a part of the Super Bowl. And so this is his section. This is where Kendrick Lamar's gear is for the Super Bowl. He, along with another designer, worked through all of this. Yeah, it's cool stuff here. And so, like I said, if it's about the Super Bowl and you want it, you can get it here. And if you can't, you probably don't need it, guys.
Oh, man, I want to Venmo you some money for one of those sweatshirts, my friend. Those look really cool. Let me ask you something, Jay.
Come on.
So here's the thing. You've covered so many Super Bowls, right, including the one here in L.A. in 22. We're looking forward to seeing you when it returns to SoFi Stadium 27. But let's talk about how this one is different. This comes on the heels of the terror attack on January 1st. You were there for that as well. Can you tell us how things have changed maybe in the city?
Yeah. Well, it's certainly ramped up the security even another notch. You know, there's always big security for a Super Bowl, but it's gone up even another level as a result of all this. You've got almost 3,000 either federal agents or police officers on the ground. You've got tactical units. You've got really security at every corner in the French Quarter as well as around the stadium. They've locked down those areas as well. And I talked to some of the fans about this. What they'll tell you is that, yeah, you know, everybody is still grieving the tremendous loss here, 14 killed and more than a dozen injured. And they say seeing these officers on the ground, seeing the heavy presence of security makes them feel safe, makes them feel better. And that's part of the goal here is to have that happen. So you've got that. And again, you've got a city that really knows how to throw a party. They enjoyed throwing a party here, their 11th Super Bowl. So it's another way to support this city by coming here and being a part of the celebration here. And it's amazing, Lynette, Adrian, how many fans you see that don't have a ticket to the game, that don't really cheer for either of the teams, but just want to be a part of the experience here and enjoy it. And so that's something that's going to be really good for this city as they try to move forward.
Yeah, a whole bunch of energy. And I remember the New Orleans city officials in the aftermath of that attack said, we're built for this. We're built to host parties and big events. So, Jay Gray, we hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much for your report.
That's right.
All right, Jay mentioned it. There's a lot of anticipation building around Kendrick Lamar and his halftime show. The Compton native said that he's preparing by doing a lot of workouts for the show and that the stage means a lot more to him than just putting on the actual performance.
The passion I have now is still the passion I had then. So to represent it on this type of stage is like everything that I've worked for and everything that I believe in as far as the culture. Like, I live and die by it. I want that energy to, you know, ooze out into the televisions and to the people that's in that building.
Kendrick will be joined by SZA on stage at some point. TMZ also confirming that he will perform the hit Not Like Us.
How does it go? We'll just wait for Kendrick to do it on Sunday. Hi, everyone. Well, I'm tracking the forecast. We got another soggy morning. Allow extra time to get to where you have to go. The rain will be tapering off this afternoon. And just in time for the weekend, the weather will be drying out. We'll bring back the sunshine, but the temperatures will remain cool. Now, we've got some good rain reports. It's been a good dose in the past 24 hours. Malibu Hills has had more than 2 inches. La Cañada Flint Ridge, a 1.88. The Hollywood Reservoir, 1.75. Downtown LA, about 1.5 inches. And over in Oxnard, 1.21. LA, Ventura County really being the ones that have received the most rain. We've gotten much less over in Orange County and the Inland Empire, but right now it's falling over for you over there. Here we are looking at the weather model that shows us when and where that rain is going to fall, and it's going to be mostly during the morning, amigos. Here we are looking at the weather at 7 a.m. It's still drizzly, cloudy, foggy, and then we head into the afternoon, and the rain will be tapering off into the afternoon. In fact, by noon, we could be seeing some pockets of sunshine. The afternoon commute is looking much drier, but the roads may be a little damp. Here we are looking at the weather at 5 p.m. and then overnight through tomorrow morning, the rain is not coming back, but we'll have a few lingering clouds. Now let's talk about the temperatures. Those are fresh. We've got 50s on the board. And over in Big Bear, we've got 37 degrees. And the temperatures still below normal this afternoon, but just slightly warmer than yesterday because of drier afternoon conditions and a bit more sunshine. Highs are going to be in the 60s, over in Big Bear 45. And how about this? The air quality will be fantastic. Great air quality across the area. We're seeing a lot of green from here to there, so that's a silver lining from all of this rain. And here's the forecast for Sunday. Looking ahead to the big game here in Los Angeles, the game will kick off around 3:30. If you are headed to a friend's house, maybe you're gathering outside, the temperatures are going to be in the mid-60s. But bring a sweater wherever you're headed, because once the sun goes down, the temperatures will be cool. Around halftime, it'll be 60 degrees, and by the time the game wraps up, the temperatures will be around 54 degrees. So once the storm system moves out of the picture, over the weekend, we're still going to be under this cool, moist influence. We'll still have some clouds moving in and out and over us. And then I want to show you what happens next week. We'll start off dry, and then for the middle of the week, our weather models are indicating another chance for some rain. So Wednesday will start off dry, but right now we're looking at that rain chance increasing Wednesday, continuing into Thursday, and possibly hanging around all the way into Friday. So we'll give the umbrellas a break after today, but we may use them again for the middle of next week. And notice how these temperatures, they're going to stay cool. We'll have 60s this weekend, cool conditions early next week, and then by the middle of next week, we'll have another shot at some moisture. The Valley's Inland Empire, 60s today, slightly warmer this weekend, upper 60s. The forecast for our friends in the deserts, rainy and windy, dry this weekend. The low desert is looking nice. Temperatures in the upper 70s. And in the mountains, it's all falling as rain today. But with that next storm system next week, we may see a little bit of snow. We'll keep you posted. That's your forecast. Now, let's show you what's happening on the roads, because it's going to be a slippery drive, Holly.
Absolutely. The roads are soggy. I actually just got a message from NBC4's Brittany Hope. She was telling me on her commute on the East 134 and 210 heading towards Pasadena, it was quite eventful. A lot of localized flooding. Take it slow out there in Buena Park. I first mentioned this incident earlier this hour. East 91 near Valley View. All lanes are closed. Sadly, this is a fatal collision. We see traffic just back up at Shoemaker Avenue. So you will need an alternate route since all lanes are closed due to this accident investigation. You can use Orangethorpe Avenue or Artesia Boulevard, which runs parallel to the 91. Sherman Oaks South 101 near Woodman Avenue. The right lane is blocked after a crash. And then in Mid-City, not seeing any delays yet, but on the West 10 near La Brea, CHP says 2 lanes are blocked following a crash. I'll continue to keep you updated on that wreck in Buena Park. It is 4:56. You're watching Today in LA. We'll be right back.
It's the perfect time to elevate your home at the Living Spaces President's Day event, where you can start fresh and save big. Lounge in style on sofas starting at $350. Enjoy entertaining with dining sets starting at $295. And rest easy with queen beds starting at $195. Plus, pay no interest for 24 months on select purchases with your good credit and get free shipping as soon as next day. Don't miss incredible deals during the President's Day event, only at Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
Some things are just better at home, like picking out new floors. For a limited time, step into savings with up to 40% off your entire project. Our experts bring the showroom to you so you can see samples right in your space. That's Empire's home floor advantage. Don't miss your chance to save on select styles fully installed. Call or visit EmpireToday.com for your free in-home consultation.
800-588-2300.
Empire Today. For the acute treatment of migraine with or without aura in adults, Nurtec ODT can provide relief in 2 hours, which can last up to 2 days. Don't take if allergic to Nurtec ODT. Allergic reactions can occur even days after use, like trouble breathing and rash. Get help if you have trouble breathing, swelling of the face, mouth, tongue, or throat. Common side effect is nausea. When migraine takes your time, take Nurtec. Ask your doctor about Nurtec ODT.
Escape to a vacation at Circus Circus. Experience the thrill of the Adventure Dome. 5 acres with more than 25 rides to keep you on the edge of your seat. Ride our newest attractions, Nebula Z, Twistin' Teacups, Circus Swings, and Little Sprinter Raceway. More rides, more excitement, an experience for the entire family. Life's a circus. Let's play!
You're driving down the road and out of nowhere, boom! You get hit by a big truck. Now you're hurt
You got medical bills piling up and you don't know what to do. But then you call us and boom! Just like that, we'll take care of everything A to Z. And we'll get you the big money that you deserve.
The Law Brothers recently got a client in a big truck accident over $9.8 million.
Call us. We're the Law Brothers.
Call 1-800-222-2222.
It is just about 5 a.m. and we've got a muddy mess here. The soaked and burned hillsides are now spilling onto the roadway in the Pacific Palisades.
And you know what? The K-rails, they were not enough to hold it all back. This is just one problem that we're seeing near the burn scar this morning. We are tracking it all for you. Our First Alert team coverage is in the Palisades and Altadena as the rain sticks around through this morning commute.
Plus, SoCal Edison now admitting that its equipment may be to blame for one of the fires that sparked during our wildfire emergency that started 1 month ago today. We're live to break down the investigation.
Today in LA at 5 starts now.
Well, good morning and thanks for joining us. It's Friday, February 7th as we take this live look outside from our home here in Universal City. You can see all the raindrops on our camera lens there. It's raining all over the place right now. Thanks for joining us and good morning. I'm Adrian Arambulo.
And I'm Lynette Romero. We are so glad you're here with us on Today in LA. We're going to get right to Belen de Leon to talk about the forecast.
Here we are, third morning in a row where we're dealing with a slippery commute. So folks, please give yourself extra time this morning. Don't be in a rush. Leave the house a little bit early because we've had this moisture moving in since the overnight hours, and you can see how it has been progressing over Southern California. This is what we have for you right now and where that rain is currently falling. We're seeing it fall lightly over in Orange County, but it is causing some very wet freeways. Also some rain towards the Lakewood and Downey area. And I want to show you what's happening just at the foothills of the San Gabriel Valley. There you see that rain is accumulating. And although right now we have that light rain over parts of LA County, the rain that we had in the overnight hours was enough to cause a flood advisory. And unfortunately, this covers the Palisades burn scar area and the Eaton burn scar area, as well as the Hughes burn scar area. So the San Fernando Valley until 6:30 will be under a flood advisory. There could be ponding on the roads, some flooding at intersections, and unfortunately, we're starting to see some shallow debris flow. I mean, this is the third day in a row we have that rain in Southern California. So although it's falling light to moderately, the ground is really saturated. Now it's going to be the first half of the day when we have most of the action. This is a view from our USS Iowa camera over in San Pedro. You can't make out a thing out there in the distance. So it's rainy, it's slippery, it's foggy, and it's chilly. Temperatures are in the 50s. But during the afternoon, slightly warmer. We're going to be drying out. We may even tap into some sunshine. Highs are going to be in the 60s. So I'm going to be back and I'll time out when this rain finally moves out. This morning on the roads, Holly Hanula is tracking several incidents.
That's right, Belen, and it's just 5:02, and we're seeing so many more accidents than usual, a lot due to the rain. I've been following this crash for almost an hour now. Buena Park, East 91 near Valley View. All lanes are closed. This is a traffic alert. At this time, CHP does not know when lanes will reopen. Sadly, this was a triple fatality. Delays start at Shoemaker. Coming up, of course, I will give you some alternate routes. In Brea, we have a solo crash, South 57 at Tonner Canyon. It's in the carpool lane, seeing some delays for folks making their way towards the 91. West 91, Riverside to Anaheim, 36 minutes right now. Speeds in the 60s. Things look good through Corona and Anaheim Hills. Coming up, I will take you back to Buena Park. Adrian, Lynette, over to you.
All right, Holly, thank you. 5:02 right now. We got a mudslide on PCH. New video overnight shows mud overrunning K-rails that are intended to keep the roads clear.
So the rain from this storm has mostly been light, but this is exactly what we've all been concerned about. It's what we've been talking about all week long in the Palisades burn scar. NBC4's Lauren Coronado is at PCH and Big Rock Drive. So the rain has been kind of light since you've been there. What's it look like right now?
Lynette, Adrian, good morning. We actually have a break in rain right now, so it's kind of nice for the time being. It gives crews more time to clear any debris that has fallen onto roadways. We drove down PCH from the Santa Monica area, and there was some pooling, some light flooding to be aware of. Of course, PCH is closed because of concerns over landslides and debris flows, which is exactly what happened at this intersection from the hillside here. You might still be able to see some caked mud on the ground here, but crews crews, they did a really good job clearing the road as quickly as they could. But I want to get straight to new video just into our newsroom. This is about a mile north of Sunset, not far from where we're at now. Mud from this slide just took over the K-rail. Of course, those K-rails are designed to stop mud and debris, but the weight of the land is just too heavy. We saw a similar situation Wednesday when this week's first round of rain hit. Back here on Big Rock Drive, where we're at now, this is what it looked like overnight. Crews were quick to clean up the mess here. Like I mentioned, even though PCH is closed, there are still emergency vehicles driving through, which is why it's important the roads are cleared quickly. Then you think of all the homes perched above PCH, the homes that were spared by the Palisades fire, now facing landslide threats, and even the homes that were burned, destroyed, are of concern. I spoke with the property owner this week who said he's still trying to save his plot of land from landslides so he could at least have the chance to rebuild on his land. As we come back out here live, I do want to show you some of the sandbags. We talk about preparations that workers have been doing. You can see here sandbags surround this storm drain. They're just trying to make sure that there isn't a ton of flooding. So you can see crews, they've really been preparing for this, and it's dark out right now, but just beyond that you might be able to see some of the debris that fell from the hillside there too. So PCH, of course, is always of concern during the rain, but now even more so because of the lack of vegetation, because of the fire. Also want to remind you, it's been 1 month since the fire sparked, since the Palisades and Eaton fires sparked. And to think of the fact, if we were to have this kind of weather at the time, we would be telling a much different story now. Reporting live here in Malibu, I'm Lauren Coronado for Today in LA.
All right, Lauren, thank you. And new at 5 a.m., you're looking at new video. A truck swept away in the LA River. You could see the pickup being pushed along by the rushing water. The truck bed flooded there. Thankfully, no one was inside. Now, we don't know how long it's been in the water, but firefighters spotted it in Long Beach near the 710 freeway.
Today marks 1 month since the start of the fires in the Palisades and in Altadena. Now, there is this new video that shows what could have started the Eaton fire. Now, we obtained this cell phone video recorded on the night of January 7th, right around 6:15. And it shows a fire burning right there next to an electrical tower on the hills above Altadena. That tower is an old, decommissioned Southern California Edison tower. So it does not carry live electricity, but Southern California Edison is looking into the possibility that the dead line was momentarily energized during the strong winds that night. NBC4's Brittany Hope is tracking these new developments, and she will have a live report coming up in our next half hour. Meantime, SoCal Edison says its equipment may be associated with the ignition of the Hearst fire in Sylmar. That fire also ignited on January 7th, several hours after the Eaton and Palisades fires. It burned about 800 acres and did not damage any homes. The LA Fire Department continues to investigate the cause of the Hearst fire.
Well, as Governor Newsom continues to push for federal wildfire aid in D.C., he is announcing new measures to make California more fire resistant. He signed an executive order yesterday that will invest in firefighters, community hardening, and forest management. Part of the money will be used to update fire hazard maps that could change building and planning requirements for communities that are at higher risk. The requirements would include building homes with fire-resistant material and require homeowners in those areas to create defensible space around their homes. LA Mayor Karen Bass was in the Palisades yesterday assessing the progress of debris removal. She joined EPA leaders as they continue phase 1 of the removal process. The parking lot of Will Rogers State Park, or State Beach, I should say, will serve as the temporary site for hazardous household materials removed from homes. Earlier this week, we learned 4.5 million tons of debris was created by both the Palisades and Eaton fires. That's close to half of what LA County would have for an entire year.
There is still no sign of a plane that disappeared yesterday in Alaska with 10 people on board, 9 passengers and a pilot. The flight was over western Alaska. The plane took off from Unalakleet on its way to Nome. It's a trip that takes less than an hour. Crews are looking for the plane, but visibility is making this very challenging. It's snowing and it is only 16 degrees.
And developing now, there is an effort to get Children's Hospital LA to reinstate hormone therapy for transgender patients. Protesters held a demonstration outside of the hospital last night. The hospital paused gender-affirming care for people under the age of 19 after President Trump signed an executive order threatening to pull funding from healthcare providers who offer this treatment.
Hospitals around the country are looking to CHLA right now to see how they're going to respond to these unlawful executive orders. And the decision that they made to deny care to trans youth didn't need to happen, and it's not too late to reverse it.
Now, CHLA released a statement that reads, in part, current patients already receiving treatment will continue with their course of care. We continue to carefully evaluate the executive order to fully understand its implications. California Attorney General Rob Bonta says the hospital could be in violation of state law if it withholds care.
Amigos, we're experiencing a flood advisory right now, so you may encounter roads that are flooded. Just a reminder that if that does happen, don't risk it. You don't know the depth of that rain or that water, and there may be some other hidden dangers, so it's best to find an alternate route. Now, the rain will be the most active and widespread this morning. It does taper off as we head into the afternoon. Look at the hour-by-hour forecast in the Inland Empire, where we have the rain chance this morning up to 50, 40%, but notice how late this morning it starts to go down in the Inland Empire. Those cloudy skies continue. Only a small chance of rain, 10 to 20% around the middle of the day, with those cloudy skies continuing and temperatures in the 60s. As we head into the evening, that chance of rain will go down big time. So here we are looking at the weather this morning. Sometimes I run out of words, folks. We're looking at our futurecast, and you can see how the rain is falling this morning. Very cloudy, misty, foggy. Around the middle of the day, we're going to have some pockets of sunshine. The weather starts to dry out. Here we are this evening. The afternoon commute is looking much drier, and the storm finally moves out as we head into this evening and into tomorrow. You know, the weather over the weekend is really going to dry out. And just a reminder, if you are traveling through the mountains and deserts, that's where we have a wind advisory in effect, so it could be a little gusty, and that could make travel even more hazardous. Speaking of, here's a look at the traffic right now with Holly.
All right, thanks so much, Belen. Yes, a very eventful morning in regards to traffic. I have been following this crash for about an hour now. Sadly, a fatal collision, East 91 near Valley View. This is in the Buena Park area. All lanes are blocked and for an unknown duration. So, of course, you'll need an alternate route. You can use Orangethorpe Avenue or Artesia Boulevard. CHP says there's some flooding on the East 134 near the 5 in the Burbank area. The left lane has a lot of water. Cars are hydroplaning. My colleague and friend Brittany Hope used the East 134 when getting to work this morning in Pasadena and said there was a lot of localized flooding. So be safe. Also a report of flooding on the West 210 on-ramp at Lake, about a foot of water on that on-ramp, so something to be aware of. South 14 Drive, Palmdale to the 5 is going to take about an hour right now. I'm noticing quite a bit of slowing between Santiago and Alqua Dulce Canyon Road. At this time, there's no report of an accident, but as you can see, a sea of red for folks making their way towards Santa Clarita. Coming up, I will take you to Riverside. Adrian, over to you.
Holly, thank you. Next at 5, a police chase in the Inland Empire takes a dangerous turn after the suspects run across the freeway, barely dodging cars. We're going to take you to the car dealership where all of this started.
Plus, a robo-taxi spins out on the soggy roadways right in the middle of our storm. But police say there is more to this story, why they're now looking for other drivers.
And we want to take you back outside for a live look from Ontario International Airport. You can see raindrops on the lens, the runways, the tarmac slick, but the plane's still taking off. Now is a good time to download our NBCLA app. You can get instant weather alerts sent right to your phone and forecasts for your own neighborhood. We'll be right back.
This morning on California Live, a sushi experience with a tipsy twist. Learn which sips to pair with your favorite cuts of fish. Then we're chatting with the date doctor about how you can avoid being love bombed this Valentine's Day. That's today at 11:30 on California Live.
We're the Morgan Boys. I'm Matt. I'm Mike. And I'm Dan. We became injury attorneys just like our parents. Our family has been fighting for families like yours for over 35 years.
So if you're injured, call Morgan & Morgan.
For the people.
For the families.
Man, remember that time when our eye bags made us look sexy? Yeah, me neither. Now, we can reduce our eye bags by drinking less alcohol, sleeping more, cold compresses, blah, 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 and blah. 1, that's way too much work. And 2, don't worry, there's Particle 6-in-1 face cream for men. All you have to do is wash your face daily and then rub in some Particle for 30 seconds and boom, you'll look a lot less like that guy. and a lot more like this guy. Particle 6-in-1 Face Cream for Men. First of its kind anti-aging cream designed specifically for men. Fights eye bags, dark spots, and wrinkles. Visit ParticleMen.com and use the promo code on your screen to receive 25% off your entire order. Plus, we've got free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. www.ParticleMen.com. Because seeing is believing.
Get a free appetizer at Cielo when you download our app. Morongo!
Perfect for Valentine's. Diamond studs, $69. Stackable bands, $169. 3-stone rings, $179. Half carat, $499. 1 carat, $799. And 1 carat studs, $499. Guaranteed to appraise for double. The Jewelry Exchange, Tustin.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen again.
Voltaren for long-lasting arthritis pain relief.
I'm Mitchell, Ron's son and fellow attorney. I grew up at Larry H. Parker. From the mailroom to the courtroom, I've been here and will continue to be here to fight for you.
Take a look at our results.
The law offices of Larry H. Parker will fight for you.
It's the ultimate Super Bowl week on today.
You're going to the Super Bowl!
This morning, join us live from New Orleans. Plus, we're getting fired up with the fans as the Eagles and Chiefs prepare to face off.
Let's go!
This morning, only on Today.
5:15 right now. New this morning, Upland police arrested 6 people suspected of breaking into a Tesla dealership. Now, watch this. We slow down the video here. 5 of them led officers on a dangerous chase across the 210 freeway in San Bernardino. Now, this happened early Wednesday morning. Police received a call reporting 5 people breaking into a Tesla building in Upland. The group left, jumped over a fence toward the 210, hid in the embankment under bushes. Police found them using a drone. Then the suspects started running across the 210 to try to escape. Officers were able to track down and arrest all 5 suspects and another who was waiting in a car near Campus Avenue. All 6 were booked on burglary charges.
A hit-and-run crash in downtown L.A. left this Waymo driverless taxi smashed up and sent at least 1 person to the hospital, believed to be a woman who was a passenger in the Waymo. This happened just before 10 o'clock last night on Grand Avenue near Pico. The driver that crashed into the Waymo did not stop and was last seen on Pico. So far, no arrests have been made.
And back to our weather now and a check of our mountain communities. This is what it looks like right now at Mountain High, which sits on a lower summit than Big Bear and Lake Arrowhead. No active snow falling right now. That's just the water that we see on the lens. Still prime conditions for snowboarders and skiers.
Oh, yeah. Snowboarders and skiers are looking at that and their mouths are watering. That looks delicious.
Yeah,
looks
so
like a lot of fun.
We got, at least some moisture up there in the mountains. We got the raindrops on the lens here. We're showing Ontario it's raining out there as well. It's Pasadena.
Tis the season.
Yeah, Palisades.
Yeah.
We need it, Belen.
So bad. And stick around. That extended forecast is showing another storm. I'll tell you when just a minute. First, we got to get through this one, right? Because we've got another slippery morning commute. And unfortunately, it is causing some ponding on the roads and some street flooding. So Holly and I have been urging you to please avoid those flooded roads. You don't know how deep it is. And take it slow this morning. Your time will be your ally. So make sure you have enough of it to get to wherever you have to go. Don't be in a rush. Now, the rain will taper by late this morning, around the middle of the day, and it will be mostly dry for the afternoon commute. So we have a few more hours to go. But this rain, usually after a rainstorm, it does cause higher levels of bacteria in the ocean because all that runoff is going straight towards our ocean water. But unfortunately, because of all the fires that we had in January, not only do you have the typical runoff, now you have fire debris runoff as well. So there is a lot of pollutants in the water, and even the sand may contain some toxic chemicals. So a reminder that there is an ocean water closure that goes from Las Flores State Beach all the way to the Santa Monica State Beach. So stay out of the water, everybody, and stay safe. Now, the temperatures, those right now are fresh. We've got 50s on the map, and over in Big Bear, we've got 37 degrees. There's even a possibility for a mix of rain and snow in the mountains because of some chillier temperatures compared to everyone else. But look at the afternoon. Yesterday, we were stuck in the 50s. 50s. And the reason for that, very cloudy. We had on and off rain, but during the afternoon, it's going to be drier. We may even see some pockets of sunshine, so that will allow for the temperatures to warm a few more degrees. You still need to hang on to the sweater. We're going to have 60s from the coast all the way up to the Cactus, and over in Big Bear, 45. Who's ready for the weekend? The weather will be drier. We're going to bring back the sunshine, high clouds at times, but hang on to the sweater. We'll have temperatures in the low 60s at the coast. The Basin, Orange County will have mid 60s. The valleys and IE upper 60s, possibly even some 70s on Sunday. And in the mountains, temperatures will be in the 50s. Now we'll jump ahead to that 7-day forecast because after today, we're going to get a break from the rain, a chance to dry out. And then for the middle of next week, there could be another stronger storm moving into the picture. Rain, a possibility starting on Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Friday. So we're still several days away, but that's our next storm system, and we'll be keeping an eye on it for you. The weather in the valleys and Inland Empire starting off very rainy, soggy, and then we head into the afternoon, things will be drier. This weekend is looking nice. We'll continue with that great air quality. Cool temperatures early next week, and then temperatures come down again for the middle of next week with that next storm. The high desert, rainy, windy today, 60s this weekend. The low desert temperatures will be pleasant in the upper 70s. And then finally in the mountains, watch out for rock slides, slippery roads, low visibility. We'll hang on to some 40s, low 50s through Tuesday, and then next week, that next storm could bring us a chance for some snow. That's your forecast, everyone. Out of traffic, here's Holly.
All right, thanks so much, Belen. Good morning to you on this Friday. Taking you back to Brea, where over 20 minutes ago I mentioned a spin out on the South 57 at Tonner Canyon. Now, at the time I mentioned it, only one left lane was blocked. Now 2 lanes are blocked. We are seeing a backup for folks making their way towards Fullerton and the Anaheim areas. In Covina, another spin out west 10 east of Holt. The carpool lane is blocked. A few moments ago, I was seeing some red on that west 10 as folks make their way towards Baldwin Park. I hope that this will clear shortly. And then in Bloomington West 10 near Cedar, we have a big rig stuck in the right lane, but thankfully I don't see any slowing for folks making their way towards Fontana or the 15. North 215 commute Paris to Riverside, about 20 minutes right now. Speeds in the 60s, all looks good through Moreno Valley. And then just a reminder in Burbank, I mentioned this around 15 minutes ago, East 134 near the 5. There's some flooding in the left lane. Cars have been skidding and hydroplaning, so we're seeing a little bit of a backup for folks making their way towards the 5 freeway. The next time you see me, I'll take you to Buena Park, give you an update on that SIG alert that I've been following. Lynette, over to you.
Holly, thank you. Coming up next at 5, time to surrender. The hefty penalty Shohei Ohtani's ex-interpreter is now facing over a multi-million-dollar fraud case.
And the next time you head to Starbucks, check your cups. There is a new addition that's catching some people off guard in a good way. We're going to explain next on Today in LA. It's 5:21. We'll be right back on this Friday morning.
Clean water is essential to look and feel your best. And nothing filters harsh, smelly chemicals out of all the water in your home like the LifeSource water system. Taste and feel clean water for life. LifeSource. Taste and feel the difference.
I bought the team. I put it on my Chase Freedom Unlimited card. And I'm a cash back on a few other things too. Starting with the sound system. That's cash! Cash back like a pro. With Chase Freedom Unlimited. How do you cash back?
Cut! I get it. Slow motion. Slow down geographic atrophy. But we don't need gimmicks.
Stick to the facts. GA, the advanced form of dry AMD, can irreversibly damage your vision.
But Syfovre is an FDA-approved eye injection that gives you the power to slow GA.
Syfovre was proven to slow GA lesion growth over 2 years with increasing effect over time.
It's the only treatment to slow GA in as few as 6 doses per year.
Don't take Syfovre if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye that may include pain and redness or are allergic to it. Syfovre can cause severe allergic reactions. Other serious side effects are eye infection and retinal detachments, severe inflammation of vessels in the retina, which may result in severe vision loss, wet AMD, eye inflammation, and an increase in eye pressure. Most common side effects are eye discomfort, wet AMD, small specks floating in vision, and blood in the white of the eye. Tell your doctor right away if you have any side effects.
Act on facts to slow GA. Ask your retina specialist about Syfovre.
Nope, just the facts.
My name is Tim Leith. I was sitting at a red light. Out of nowhere, I just got rear-ended. I reached out to Morgan & Morgan directly from the scene. It was incredibly simple to get the process started. I never actually had to physically set foot into Morgan & Morgan. You can literally do everything from your cell phone. I was able to get emails, text messages. Morgan & Morgan got my initial offer 10x'd. And I never even got a check. I just got a direct deposit into my bank account. It's so easy.
Clean water is essential to look and feel your best. And nothing filters harsh, smelly chemicals out of all the water in your home like the LifeSource water system. Taste and feel clean water for life. LifeSource. Taste and feel the difference.
The former interpreter for Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani has been sentenced for stealing nearly $17 million from the world champ's bank account. Ippei Mizuhara will spend nearly 5 years in prison for bank and tax fraud. He must also pay back the $17 million and $1 million to the IRS. Mizuhara, who was born in Japan, could also be deported after completing his term. He is set to surrender March 24th.
It is the end of an era as once popular surf and skatewear stores Quicksilver, Volcom, Billabong are shuttering for good. The brand's operator, Liberated Goods, filed for bankruptcy, citing factors like the volatile economy, higher costs, and the rise of online fast fashion. The brands won't disappear completely. They'll be sold in some specialty shops.
Okay, so don't be surprised if your next Starbucks coffee comes with a personalized message or greeting on the cup. The company is rolling out a new policy as a way to connect with its customers. Some people on Reddit have already been sharing their messages, so they include things like, "You're amazing, seize the day," or even a hand-drawn winking smiley face. More stores are implementing the changes now that baristas are expected to implement this new task by the end of the month. Some workers, though, have raised concerns that the notes will slow them down, especially during peak hours.
That sounds like an excuse.
Well,
I want my happy message.
And so a hand-drawn winking face. So to make it wink, you just do dot and then like a dash.
Smiley face. It's like 1 second.
And then you have to put like a little hair on it and a little like a flower over the top. I don't know.
I like the idea. Right?
It's nice.
Right, 526 right now. We'll still have the looming deadline for federal workers. Why those buyouts that the president is proposing are now on hold.
Plus, our coverage on the storm continues with a check on the Eaton fire burn scars.
Hey, good morning. I'm John Kelly's Clemac. We are live in Altadena this morning. Keep an eye on the rain. As we know, the rain is not supposed to have a major impact on these hillsides, but because we've been seeing it come down so steadily over the last really few days now, we're keeping an eye. We'll let you know what we're seeing coming up.
That's right, John. Soils are saturated. Keep an eye on the rain and a flood advisory. And for our friends that are watching in the deserts, you've got a wind advisory. The winds are going to be increasing as we head into late this morning and during the early afternoon. Another thing that could make your travel a bit hazardous. Coming up, timing out when the rain finally moves out. But for right now, check out this very rainy camera over at LAX. Please be safe this morning. 526. We'll be right back.
Traffic is brought to you locally by Jacoby & Myers Injury Lawyers, because you deserve justice.
I heard just this loud in my face. That's when I realized I've been hit by a semi-truck. I had over 100 doctor's appointments, including surgery. I was nervous about dealing with the insurance companies, all the injuries that I was going to be dealing with, all the bills I might pay. And that's when I Googled and saw Jacoby & Myers was #1 for injury lawyers. Once I hired Jacoby & Myers, all the medical bills were paid off. Jacoby & Myers changed my life.
Look out, 'cause here I come.
Have you always had trouble with your weight? Same.
Discover the power of Wegovy.
With Wegovy, I lost 35 pounds. And some lost over 46 pounds.
And I'm keeping the weight off.
I'm reducing my risk. Wegovy is the only weight management medicine proven to reduce risk of major cardiovascular events such as death, heart attack, or stroke in adults with known heart disease and obesity.
Don't use Wegovy with semaglutide or GLP-1 medicines or in children under 12. Don't take if you or your family had MTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or any of these allergic reactions. Serious side effects may include pancreas inflammation and gallbladder problems. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar in people with diabetes, especially if you take medicines to treat diabetes. Call your prescriber about vision changes, if you feel your heart racing while at rest, or if you have mental changes. Depression or thoughts of suicide may occur. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, stomach pain, flu or upset, headache, feeling tired, dizzy or bloated, gas, and heartburn. Some side effects lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
With Wegovy,
I'm losing weight.
I'm keeping it off.
And I'm lowering my CV risk. Ask your prescriber about Wegovy.
Love will keep us together.
Now for something you can both agree on. A Sleep Number smart bed is perfect for couples. The Climate 360 smart bed is the only bed that cools and warms on each side. And all our smart beds adjust the firmness for each of you. Let's agree to agree on better sleep. Save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed plus free home delivery when you add a base, plus 0% interest for 48 months. Shop now.
It takes a rebel to make something beautiful. Beauty takes courage. It's an act of joy. So resist the ordinary and embrace the wow at Floor & Decor.
It is 5:30. This is not the strongest storm that we've seen, but it was still enough to cause this muddy mess.
Yeah, this is new video from Malibu overnight where mud is spilling over and onto PCH. We're live checking in on the burn scars to see how they're holding up.
Plus, as we enter the 1-month mark since the wildfire disaster, we're getting a look at new video showing a different perspective of where the Eaton fire might have started, what SoCal Edison is saying about this tower that you're seeing in that video.
Today in LA at 5 starts now.
Good morning to you. It is Friday, February 7th. This is a live look outside towards downtown LA. It looks like it's almost clearing up out there when, the raindrops have cleared enough at least that you can see the shot. We're so glad you're here with us on this Friday morning. I'm Lynette Romero.
And I'm Adrian Arambulo, and we want to check in with Belen because we got two good things going for us, Belen. It's Friday, and we've got rain that we need so badly, but you just don't want it to come down too fast. Right?
Yes, and you know what? It's not coming down too fast. The problem is that this is the third day in a row that we have rain. Our soil is saturated, so now we're starting to see some advisories. So let's get to it because I want to show you the rain that moved in the overnight hours, and you can see how it's slowly been spreading into Southern California. We've had some really good rainfall amounts, but lower rainfall amounts is where we fall right now. And in the foothills, looking at some of that moisture, rain falling right now over the 5 of the 405. Our major freeways right now are very slippery, and there you see the rain along the 210 near the foothills of the San Gabriels. Now the rain is falling lightly over the Palisades Fire Burn Scar area and also in the Altadena area, but with the rain that moved in overnight and through this morning, it's been enough to cause a flood advisory. So these areas are under a flood advisory until 6:30, but it's not just the burn scars being affected. The San Fernando Valley through the I-5 corridor, we may be experiencing some ponding on the road, some flooding at intersections or poor drainage areas, and some shallow debris flow. So other than that, temperatures this morning 50s, and it is foggy, and it is the morning when we're going to get most of the action. I want to show you this really cool camera. This is the LA River. We can't really see the LA River, but it is risen compared to yesterday. It's flowing. It'll be during the morning when we get the rain. During the afternoon, it'll be drier. We'll even tap into some sunshine later, and temperatures will be in the 60s. I'll be back to timeout when the rain moves out. Now check at the drive. Here's Holly.
All right, good morning to you on this Friday. We are back to Buena Park. For well over an hour, I've been following a fatal crash that took place on the East 91 near Valley View. All lanes are closed, so we have a hard closure here. You're going to need an alternate route if you're trying to make your way towards the 5 freeway. You can use Orangethorpe Avenue or Artesia Boulevard. Traffic bunches up at Shoemaker Avenue. And then in Covina, we have a new spin out this time on the East 10 near Villa Verde. The left lane is blocked. Earlier, I was tracking one on the West 10 near Holt. I also want to mention in Pomona, quite a bit of slowing on the West 10 that starts from Mountain and goes until you hit the 57. Coming up, we will check conditions in Riverside. Over to you.
All right, Holly, thank you. Now we are keeping a close eye on the foothills above Altadena with the rain falling on the Eaton Fire Burn Scar.
NBC4's John Kennedy's Cleamac is live on Tan Oval Drive. A home there survived the fires, John, but now they're facing a different challenge, surrounded by wet, muddy land.
Yeah, so the County Public Works, they've been out the last couple weeks, actually, in anticipation of when the rains would come. They're putting out these concrete K-rails. The idea, of course, is to make sure that what these do is kind of divert everything off the hillside and down the streets, which is where they want it to go so they can control it. By doing that, they avoid having to deal with any of this getting into any of the homes and keeping all of that debris from what's burned from getting into the areas where they don't want it to be. We noticed this home here that did survive. They've got sandbags out here as well as part of this to prepare for all of this. Of course, with what happened here with the Eaton fire, a lot of work has been done to try to protect the homes that were saved or survived as a result of the fire. So what we're seeing is what you're seeing now. A lot of sandbags, a lot of K-rails. There's actually a home just down the street from where we are where a private resident got some K-rails, the ones that you fill with water, and she's using those to keep anything from heading into her house. But this is the latest here, what we're seeing up here. The rain that's been coming down, we know it's not supposed to be super strong. It's actually starting to let up just a little bit, so it's more of a mist that's happening right now. Not major problems around here, but we did see Public Works with their crews out, keeping an eye on the hillsides and making sure that they are at the ready should anything start to slip. We'll keep you posted on that. For now, we're live in Altadena. I'm John Kathy's Klimak today in LA.
All right, John, thank you for that update. Well, this is the concern that we've been talking about all week, right, since this rain started. Now we have this new video showing a mudslide blocking PCH at Big Rock Drive. Caltrans mobilized quickly, though, to remove all that mud. We want to show you a live look now at PCH and Big Rock Drive. Now remember, PCH is still closed. It will remain closed through this storm because of the continued threat of possible mudslides.
5:35 right now. Well, today marks 1 month since the deadly and destructive wildfire started, and now Southern California Edison is sharing new information about their investigation into the Eaton fire.
NBC4's Brittany Hope is live in Pasadena with this new video. And then, Brittany, also what the company is saying.
Yeah, good morning from a very rainy Pasadena. You know, since this fire started a month ago, we've shown you multiple videos from different perspectives showing how the fire may have ignited in the hills just above Pasadena. Those hills are behind us. Now, we do want to be clear that the cause of this fire is still under investigation. The cause has not been determined, but a new perspective this morning is showing us a different angle in all of this. So this is some new video that we want to show you right now. It's a short clip, so we're going to loop it, but it shows the first moments of the fire and the flames below a specific electrical tower. That tower is an old decommissioned SoCal Edison tower. That means its lines no longer carry electricity. But yesterday, SoCal Edison filed a document with state regulators saying it's exploring the possibility that somehow that dead line was momentarily energized in the high winds on the night of the fire. The utility is also exploring the extent to which that line or its grounding could be related to the cause of the fire. The president and CEO of Edison International spoke about the investigation yesterday.
The cause of the Eaton fire remains unknown. Like you, we have seen information like videos shared by external parties of the fire's early stages. These are concerning, and they may suggest a possible link to SCE's equipment.
And a few weeks ago, we showed you this video. It was captured from the surveillance cameras at the gas station where we are live right now in Pasadena. It shows sparks falling from the area of those towers on the night of January 7th. When this video was released, Edison said it was continuing to investigate the possibility its equipment played a role. LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger reacting to SCE's filing.
The fact that they came out with the statement tells me that they may know something that I don't, obviously, but the investigation should be completed in the next few weeks, and we'll take it from there.
So back out here live, we have the Eaton fire. We also have the Hearst fire. You may remember last month that burned 800 acres in Sylmar. Just yesterday, SoCal Edison now also admitting their equipment may be associated with that fire, but they did not share how. Reporting live in Pasadena, Brittany Hope for Today in LA.
All right, thank you, Brittany. 5:37 right now. This morning, the Trump administration's plan for millions of federal workers to take a buyout is on hold. A federal judge paused it, at least for now. The ruling throws a roadblock into Elon Musk's efforts to slash government spending. The president's campaign is pledging to save taxpayer money by cutting jobs from the federal workforce. However, a senior government official tells NBC News that more than 60,000 employees have already accepted the buyout. The Trump administration is trying to apply new pressure, now warning that workers, that their jobs may be in jeopardy.
The roads are slippery and it is foggy out there. Check out the visibility. We've got that fog in the San Fernando Valley along the LA County coastline into Orange County, the San Gabriel Valley. The weather is working against you, amigos, this morning, so allow extra time when you leave the house. It'll be the morning when we have that rainfall. During the afternoon, conditions will be drying out. Look at the hour-by-hour forecast in Orange County. Orange County, here's your forecast. You see that chance of rain this morning at about a 40%. The temperature's chilly in the 50s. Around the middle of the day, the numbers rise into the low 60s. Not a warm day by any means, but you notice the chance of rain, it goes down. We'll hang on to the cloud cover, may even see some pockets of sunshine. The afternoon commute is looking drier. Now, the heaviest rain will be falling even before the sun comes out. Here we are taking a look at our weather model, and you can see how by 9 a.m. we'll start to see the rain break up in parts of LA County, Ventura County, with some rain lingering in the foothills of the San Bernardino Mountains. Around the middle of the day, we're mostly done with that moisture. Into the afternoon we go, we'll have some lingering cloud cover, but the bulk of that moisture will be over. The weather is going to be drying out as we head into the weekend, and we say goodbye to the system. A reminder, our friends that are traveling through the mountains or the deserts, this is where a wind advisory is in effect until noon, where you're going to be dealing with more hazardous conditions because of those strong winds that could bring down some trees, blow around some dust, debris, so please be safe. Coming up, that weekend forecast, I'm ready for it. Holly Hanula, how about you?
Absolutely, 100%, friend. Good morning to you on this Friday. We are in the Pomona area. I have a new traffic alert to tell you about. 10 minutes ago, I was saying there's a lot of slowing through Pomona between Mountain and the 57, where we had a crash on the West 10 at the 57. 3 lanes are closed. Estimated time of clearing 6:15 this morning. You can also not connect from the West 10 to the South 57. So this is all due to a crash in the Pomona area. You can use the West 210 or West 60 as alternate routes. Another traffic alert just popped up following a crash in Irwindale, North 605 near Live Oak. 2 lanes closed. Hopefully these lanes reopen around 6 a.m. And then in Brea on the South 57 near Imperial Highway, we have a stalled vehicle in the left lane. We were already seeing a lot of delays in that area because of an earlier crash on the South 57 at Tonner. So very busy. West 91 Drive, Riverside to Anaheim, 43 minutes right now. Speeds in the 50s. So far, so good through Corona and Anaheim Hills. Coming up in a few, I will take you back to Buena Park. Adrian, Lynette, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Holly. See you shortly. 5:41 right now. Next at 5, the power of red.
Today is National Wear Red Day, aimed towards heart health. We're going to talk with a cardiologist to help you stay informed on the #1 killer among women and men.
Plus, counting down to the big game, this year's Super Bowl, set to be an exciting rematch between the Eagles and Chiefs. One team, though, has a little extra motivation coming to them just days before kickoff. You're watching Today in LA. We'll be right back.
Del Taco's new Chipotle chicken burrito and bean rice and cheese burrito, packed with flavor and fresh ingredients on Del's Real Deals menu. Wait, what? These burritos on a value menu with everything under $3? Look at Del Taco hooking us up.
I was coming home from work, traffic had stopped. The guy behind me, he didn't stop.
I went into a pizzeria, and next thing I know, I'm on the ground.
I went to the mall, that fell onto my back. I decided to call Morgan & Morgan.
The very next day, Morgan & Morgan took charge. Everything was done electronically.
You don't even have to go in the office. Everything was over the phone.
It was quite easy. Had everything handled. They do the work.
It was very, very easy, very simple, and very quick.
Dreams begin here. Welcome to the Good Night Club.
A blind spot that's never out of sight. How it should be. The Hyundai Tucson.
Get 1.99% APR or up to $1,250 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Stay ahead of your child's moderate to severe eczema with Dupixent as they welcome the feeling of touch with clear skin and less itch. The #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists helps heal their skin from within. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma or other medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your child's doctor about Dupixent.
Perfect for Valentine's. Love bracelets $1.99. 1-carat heart solitaires or studs $5.99. 2-carat $11.90. 1-carat bands $6.99. 5-carat lab diamonds $39.90. Guaranteed the lowest price. The Jewelry Exchange Tustin.
Del Taco's new Chipotle chicken burrito and bean rice and cheese burrito, packed with flavor and fresh ingredients on Del's Real Deals menu. Wait, what? These burritos on a value menu with everything under $3? Look at Del Taco hooking us up.
Off to the scene of breaking news.
We're right now in the middle of a firestorm.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
That was a crazy turn of events.
And every hour in between, NBC4's there.
The school bus now being towed away.
Breaking news in real time. Preparing you, informing you, diving deeper into the stories impacting you. NBC4, we're not just in the community. We're part of it. From the air to the ground, no matter the screen. From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Trust NBC for you.
5:44 right now. Well, you may have noticed that we're all wearing red. This is part of a nationwide campaign to raise awareness about heart disease and promote heart health.
Well, joining us this morning on National Wear Red Day is Dr. Sarab Subnasky, a cardiologist with Dignity Health. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us, doctor.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So it is also American Heart Month. It's all about awareness, right? Can you talk about this campaign and why it's so important?
It is important for two reasons. Number one, as you mentioned, the #1 killer for both women and men is cardiac disease. Traditionally, from our studies, that we have a misunderstanding. There's a misconception that the heart attack is usually seen in middle-aged men. So this is not a woman disease. This concept had caused some issues for especially women health. So then we come up with an idea, like how can we raise the awareness? To start to fix the problem, you need to understand what the problem is. So we start to recognize that woman is under the threat for heart disease as much as men. So we wear red to raise this awareness.
And doctor, the most recent statistics show that heart disease is the leading cause of death in the U.S. and that the risk factors are rising substantially. So can you talk to us about what those are? How did this happen, and what can we do about it?
Okay, risk factors are high blood pressure, obesity, it's diabetes. This is our lifestyle. And the further we go into this faster living lifestyle, we got losing attention to our diet. So how can we do for that? There's so much risk factors. The ones that we can prevent is quit smoking, right? And then pay attention to your diet. And lifestyle is very important. Move yourself. And cholesterol level, blood pressure level, understanding the risk factors will improve the outcome.
So we've said that there's this threat to both men and women, but women experience unique life stages, right, that could put them at greater risk. Can you talk about that, the details of that?
Yeah, the woman has two different hormones, fluctuates in 2 different times a month. That it brings also an issue of life stages of women. So we have pregnancy in our lifestyle, and then we also go to menopause. These two cornerstones in woman heart health is impacting the heart a lot. So there's a traditional understanding, again, this is a man disease, but unfortunately, young age women during their pregnancy will carry huge risk for their cardiac disease. And in menopause is not a risk factor, but with menopause, what we're facing with is changing in our blood pressure, changing in our cholesterol, raising our risk factors is causing, it's a big risk factor.
Doctor, we're running out of time, but what are some of the signs of a heart attack that our viewers should look out for? Because we understand that they're different between men and women.
Yeah, there's typical understanding of, chest pain and going back to your neck, to your back. And if you sweat with that, that is typical heart attack. But in women, we can also see chest discomfort, the shortness of breath, upset stomach, and pain in the shoulder, and also anxiety. These are the symptoms. Then we can pay attention, is this a heart attack? Some women may feel unusually tired and they might feel weak. Those might be the signs for a heart attack.
Dr. Subnosky, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm so glad that we are all wearing red to really try to help increase this awareness as well. Thank you. Have a great day.
I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
All right, 5:48 right now. We want to give you a live look at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, home of Super Bowl 59. The Kansas City Chiefs are looking to win their third in a row. And the Eagles are looking for revenge after losing to the Chiefs 2 years ago in the big game. Now, the Birds have a key player in the matchup this time around they didn't have last, running back Saquon Barkley. And during last night's NFL honors ceremony, he was named Offensive Player of the Year. It's his first season with the Eagles. Some other top honors of the night, Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen was named the MVP. And Jared Verse became the first Rams player since Aaron Donald to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. So our Rams are representing there. We talk about Lynette and Belen, relentless momentum of the show. Jared Verse is relentless on the field. He is a beast.
Relentless.
All right. Well, I've got the forecast for Sunday. I know it's really rainy right now, but we'll have the sunshine returning on Sunday. The kickoff will be at 3:30 for us here. Pacific time, 65 degrees. So it'll be nice if you are getting to any parties around that time. Now, I would bring a sweater, a jacket if you plan to spend any time outdoors, or even whenever you're leaving your gatherings. It's going to be cool around halftime, 60 degrees. And by the time the end of the game, temperatures will be around 54. So the forecast as we head into Sunday is going to be fantastic. But amigos, we still have rain out there. In the past 24 hours, we've had a lot of it. Malibu Hills, rain report of 2.22, La Cañada Flint Ridge 1.88, Hollywood Reservoir about 1 3/4 inches, downtown LA about 1.5 inches, and Oxnard 1.21, and we're not done yet. We have rain in the forecast mainly for this morning. It is going to be tapering off by the afternoon, and then as we head into the weekend, the weather's going to be drying out. We'll have clouds mixed in with some sunshine, and the temperatures will remain cool. Now, this rain has really caused some chilly conditions this morning and also some slippery roads as well as fog. But during the afternoon, we're actually going to have some pockets of sunshine, and the temperatures will be a bit warmer than yesterday. I wouldn't, just walk out in shorts and sleeveless, but this is milder compared to yesterday when we were stuck in the 50s. Afternoon temperatures will be in the 60s from the coast up to the deserts, in Big Bear 45, so still below normal for this time of year. And look at what the rain is doing to our air quality. Great air quality across the area. So that's what the green means. The air quality improving, but unfortunately the water quality near the ocean is worsening. As I mentioned, that runoff causing some high levels of bacteria, and also because of the fires that we had in January, all of that debris unfortunately is draining into the ocean. So stay out of the water. Now, here's a look at the weather over the next several days. Once the system moves out of the picture, we are drying out, but we're still going to be under this cool flow in Southern California with some clouds moving in at times. Now, I'll stop the clock early next week because although we're going to give the umbrellas a break over the weekend and through early next week, we're already tracking the next storm system. So February, which is typically our rainiest month on average, is really showing up in the rainfall department. By Wednesday, we could have rain in our area, and it does look like we're going to be tapping into an atmospheric river. So that means that we may have some generous amounts of rain Wednesday, Thursday, and possibly into Friday. So we're still several days away. Stay tuned to updates from the First Alert Weather Team. Here's your forecast. We are drying out over the weekend, staying dry early next week, and there you see that chance of rain for the middle of next week with the temperatures coming down again. The weather in the valleys and Inland Empire starting off soggy, calmer during the afternoon, Mid to upper 60s this weekend, and then cooler next week, especially on Wednesday and Thursday when that next round moves in. In the desert, watch out for the rain and the wind. We've got a wind advisory until noon. 60s this weekend in the high desert, a pleasant weekend in the low desert in the 70s. And here's a forecast for the mountains next week. That storm could bring us a chance for some snow. And a reminder that you can always tune into our forecast, scan that QR code, and get updates from the First Alert Weather Team. Now to traffic. How are things going, Holly?
Ooh, it's been very busy this Friday. It's not yet 6 a.m. and we're already seeing a lot of red on the big map. Rain has definitely impacted the morning commute. We're back in Buena Park. Around 4:15, I first mentioned this fatal crash. East 91 near Valley View. I just got off the phone with CHP moments ago. I was told only the right lane is open. Delays still start around Shoemaker Avenue. You can use Artesia Boulevard and Orange Thorpe Avenue as alternate routes. New traffic alert just popped up in the downtown LA area, North 101 at Broadway. The on-ramp is closed until at least 6:45 a.m. This is due to roadway flooding. Another map I didn't have time to make, but I do want to mention another traffic alert. South 5 at Broadway. The off-ramp is closed due to roadway flooding. In Pomona, I've been following a crash, which is a traffic alert on the West 10 at the 57. 3 lanes are closed until 6:15 a.m. You can also not connect from the West 10 to the South 57 at this time. Delays start at Claremont around Mountain. Another traffic alert we have, this one due to a wreck. 3 lanes blocked on the North 605 near Live Oak in the Irwindale area. I hope this clears in the next 20 minutes or so. West 105 drive Downey to LAX will take about 25 minutes. Speeds in the 40s. Things are getting busier in the Hawthorne area as folks make their way to the airport. Coming up, I will continue to keep you updated on all the traffic alerts in effect. Lynette, over to you.
All right, today NBC4 and Telemundo 52 are teaming up with legal experts to answer your immigration questions. From procedures to paperwork, they will be ready to take your calls starting at 5 o'clock today. Just call that number right there on your screen. Lines will stay open until 6:30 this evening.
Friday, Damon Wayans Jr. from Papa's House. And next week, Kane Brown, Renee Zellweger, and Anthony Mackie.
Crazy. Crazy.
Today at 2 on NBC4.
Unlimited 1.5% cashback is just the beginning. Cashback 3% on dining, 5% on Chase Travel, and 3% at drugstores. Apply today at chase.com/gounlimited. Start cashbacking with Chase Freedom Unlimited.
Here for you. I'm gonna be here. Right here for you. Don't you have no fear. I'm right here. Here for you. I'm right here for you. I'll be here for you. When you need me.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers.
But at the core, this is a family business.
Our family watching out for your family. Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
If you have to ask why it's important to start your day early, here's your answer.
A refreshing iced coffee in any size for just $1.29 during breakfast hours only.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's your moment. The views, the people. That's a recipe for a loving moment. Right now, it's the only moment. The seafood, the wine, the steak and lobster. Cielo at Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times.
You'll love this. Centrum Silver is clinically proven to support memory in older adults. So you can keep saying, you mastered it. You fixed it. You nailed it. You did it with Centrum Silver, clinically proven to support memory in older adults.
Gold Bond believes touch says everything. It says, I see you. I feel you. And I know you. Gold Bond. Get in touch with irresistibly touchable skin.
Ordinary is the opposite of beautiful. Beauty drops our jaws, dilates our eyes, And beauty is something we can create right now at Floor & Decor.
It's the ultimate Super Bowl week on today.
You're going to the Super Bowl.
This morning, join us live from New Orleans. Plus, we're getting fired up with the fans as the Eagles and Chiefs prepare to face off.
Let's go.
This morning, only on Today.
5:58 right now. Man, I got to take my son to this. Runners will be racing on the runway this weekend at Ontario International Airport for the annual 5K run. It starts at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Then it's followed by a 1-mile family walk and a free community event starting at 9 a.m. Proceeds from this event will help support the USO at Ontario International Airport.
Right now at 6 a.m., mudslide in Malibu. The rain brings down part of the hillside along PCH. It's what we're all concerned about. This is near the Palisades burn scar.
So the K-rails, no match for the flow of debris and rocks. We are live monitoring the conditions in real time for you.
One would not expect an unenergized line to come to life.
And maybe closer to a cause. We'll show you what only NBC4 has uncovered about another possible origin of the Eaton fire.
This is Today in LA at 6.
Good morning. It's Friday, February 7th, as we take this live look outside from 4 of our weather cameras. Southern California getting soaked by another storm. The rain mostly light, but it is widespread and moderate in some spots. We appreciate you joining us, and good morning. I'm Adrian Arambulo.
And I'm Lynette Romero. Belen has been tracking this storm, telling us what we can expect every step of the way. And now we all want to know kind of when it's going to stop.
It's great. It's awesome. We needed it. When is it over? This morning, we're going to see the bulk of it, and then by the afternoon, it's gone. But unfortunately, the timing, once again, the third morning in a row where we have a slippery morning commute. Buenos dias and happy Friday, everyone. You can see how all of this moisture has been moving in the overnight hours. So we've got some very slippery conditions out there. For the time being, we're getting a break for LA County, Ventura County, but we see that rain falling in the foothills and lightly over in Orange County. Right now, the steadiest rain that I'm seeing is in the Inland Empire, the foothills of the San Bernardino and San Gabriel Mountains. And on top of those mountain peaks, it's cold enough to see a rain-snow mix. Now, the rain falling lightly right now over the San Fernando Valley. But amigos, with the rain that we had overnight, it has been enough to unfortunately cause a flood advisory. And that includes the Palisades fire area, the Eaton fire area, and the San Fernando Valley. This is where we may experiencing some ponding on roads, some flooding at intersections, and unfortunately also some shallow debris flow. So that's an area you got to watch out for. The visibility is down, it's foggy out there, and here is the view from our home at Universal Studios where you see rain on the camera lens. So very slippery out there. Morning will be rainy, the afternoon will be drier, we'll even get some sunshine, and the temperatures will be in the 60s. I'll be back to time it out. Look ahead of the weekend right now. Here's a drive with Holly.
All right, good morning to you on this Friday. We have a number of traffic alerts in effect. I want to take you to a crash that happened around 4:15 this morning. East 91 near Valley View. Only the right lane is open following a fatal collision. We see quite a backup for folks making their way towards the 5 freeway. If you're looking for an alternate route, use Artesia Boulevard or Orangethorpe Avenue. Another alert due to an accident in the Pomona area, West 10 at the 57. 3 lanes are closed there on the main line, and you can also not connect to the West 10 to the South 57. Estimated time of clearing. Hopefully these lanes start to reopen around 6:15 this morning. But as you can see, delays start in Claremont. From there in Irwindale, 3 lanes blocked following a crash on the North 605 near Live Oak. Hopefully this wraps up in the next 20 minutes. And then in downtown LA, a traffic alert due to flooding North 101 at Broadway. The on-ramp is closed, and this will be closed until around 6:45 this morning. I'll continue to keep you updated on how the rain is impacting the commute. Adrian and Lynette, over to you.
Holly, thank you. 6:02 right now, and we're tracking a mudslide on PCH. This new video from overnight shows mud spilling over K-rails that are, of course, intended to try to keep the roads clear.
So the rain from this storm has been mostly light, but you know, this is exactly what we've been concerned about. We've been telling you about this all week in the Palisades burn scar. NBC4's Lauren Coronado is at PCH and Big Rock Drive. So Lauren, the last time we talked to you again, there was that break in the rain. It looks like it's still kind of holding on, but it's still very, very wet out there.
Lynette, Adrian, good morning. We still have that break in rain, which is really good news for the public works crews that are out here. I'm seeing more vehicles, more resources arrive to make sure that they're clearing any debris that fall onto the roadways, because that's exactly what we're seeing right now. We are at the corner of Big Rock Drive and PCH right now, where part of this hillside came down overnight. You'll still see some caked mud in certain areas. Right here on the ground near the storm drain is one example, but crews were so quick to clear the roadways. Of course, you have emergency vehicles that are still out here. In fact, we have video of it. This is what it looked like overnight. Crews were quick, just really quick to clean up the mess. Even though PCH is closed, there are still, like I mentioned, those emergency vehicles and utility crews trying to make their ways through. Then the greater impact, all of the homes perched above PCH, the homes that were spared by the Palisades fire, are facing these landslide threats, and even the homes that were burned, destroyed, are of concern. I spoke with a man who lost his home in the Palisades fire. He says he's still trying to save his plot of land from landslides so he could have the chance to rebuild. This community just has been through so much. Now to that new video that you already got a glimpse of from this morning. This is about a mile north of Sunset, not far from where we're at right now. Mud from this slide just took over the K-rail. Of course, those K-rails are designed to stop mud and debris, but the weight of the land is really just too heavy. Back out here live, I want to show you sandbags that surround this storm drain. It's a similar situation up and down PCH, just an example of crews' work and preparing for the conditions that we're in right now. And I want to remind you that today marks 1 month since the Palisades and Eaton fires sparked. To think if we had these kind of conditions then, we would very likely be telling a very different story today. We'll bring you another live update with conditions closer to 6:55. Reporting live here in Malibu, I'm Lauren Coronado for Today in LA.
All right, Lauren, we'll talk to you soon. Well, you are looking at new video right here of a truck swept away in the LA River. You can see the pickup being pushed along by the rushing water. The truck bed is flooded. Fortunately, we understand that no one was inside that truck, but we don't know how long it had been in the water. Firefighters spotted it in Long Beach near the 710 freeway. And you know, now is a good time to download that NBCLA app. You can monitor the rain in your neighborhood and sign up for customizable alerts. That QR code on your screen will connect you to our First Alert weather team.
6:05 right now, and today marks 1 month since the start of the fires in the Palisades and Altadena. And now new video shows what could have started the Eaton fire. NBC4 Investigates obtained this cell phone video recorded on the night of January 7th, right around 6:15, and it shows this fire on the hillsides above Altadena. The tower is an old decommissioned Southern California Edison tower. It doesn't carry live electricity normally, but SoCal Edison is looking into the possibility that the dead line was energized for a moment during the strong winds that night.
The cause of the Eaton fire remains unknown. Like you, we have seen information like videos shared by external parties of the fire's early stages. These are concerning, and they may suggest a possible link to SCE's equipment.
Now, we do have an update on the Hearst fire. SoCal Edison says its equipment may be associated with the start of that one. That also started January 7th, burning about 800 acres near Silmar, but it didn't damage any homes. The LA Fire Department is still investigating the cause.
There is an effort to get Children's Hospital LA to reinstate hormone therapy for young transgender patients. Protesters held a demonstration outside of the hospital last night in the rain. The hospital paused gender-affirming care for people under the age of 19 after President Trump signed an executive order threatening to pull funding from healthcare providers who offer this care.
To be a doctor is to want to save lives, and we know that providing hormone therapy when it is appropriate and when we have assessed the patient can absolutely save their life.
CHLA released a statement. It reads in part, current patients already receiving treatment will continue with their course of care. We continue to carefully evaluate the executive order to fully understand its implications. California Attorney General Rob Bonta says the hospital could be in violation of state law by withholding this care.
6:07 right now, buyouts blocked. A judge paused President Trump's effort to slash jobs from the federal workforce at least until Monday. Employee unions had filed a lawsuit arguing that only Congress can make the these cuts. A senior administration official tells NBC News that about 60,000 workers out of more than 2 million who were offered the deal have taken it. So that's far fewer than expected. The White House is trying to apply more pressure now, warning workers that their jobs are now in jeopardy, while Democrats argue that the money that they've been promised is not guaranteed.
If they don't want to show up to the office, if they want to rip the American people off, then they're welcome to take this buyout.
My fear is these folks are going to get scammed and then be the first to be fired because they've raised their hands.
Democrats are promising to fight back, targeting next month's government funding deadline. President Trump met with congressional Republicans yesterday to try to avoid a government shutdown.
All right, it's 6:08 right now, still ahead at 6, investing in a fire-resistant California.
We've got the governor's new plan to protect homeowners in our most vulnerable communities.
And a Tesla takeover, how a group of burglars got inside this dealership and what police used to track them down.
Check out this view of Universal Studios. It's very wet out there and not far from where we are in Burbank. They picked up half an inch of rainfall since the middle of the night. So it's rainy, it is foggy, visibility is down. Coming up, I'm going to time out when the rain finally moves out, and we'll look ahead to the weekend. Right now, let's check on the drive. What's up, Holly?
Hi, Belen. Good Friday morning, everyone. Some good news out of Irwindale. A crash I was following has cleared, so that traffic alert has been canceled. All lanes open on the North 605 near Live Oak. Coming up, a traffic alert in Pomona has been extended. I'll have the details. It is 6:09, and you are watching Today in LA, TGIF.
It is no coincidence that fate brought us together.
The Brutalist is a monument of movie making that reaches for the sky.
It's ambitious.
And now it's been nominated for 10 Academy Awards, including Best Actor,
Perfect.
Best Director,
Soldier! Finish!
and Best Picture of the Year.
We can start again.
It's a new great American epic. The Brutalist, rated R, now playing in theaters everywhere.
The fires affecting Southern California communities have been devastating. If you have suffered property loss or severe damage, call now. Our experienced attorneys are helping wildfire victims in recovering their losses. Call 1-800-FIRE-120.
Blind spot that's never out of sight. How it should be. The Hyundai Tucson.
Get 1.99% APR or up to $12.50 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
GIA Diamonds, lowest prices ever. The Jewelry Exchange has natural 1-carat GIAs just $19.90. Custom mounts are just $4.99. Carat 50, $29.90. 2-carat, $59.90. Thousands of diamonds guaranteed the lowest price. The Jewelry Exchange, Tustin.
You're Albus Potter, and I'm Scorpius Malfoy.
Expelliarmus!
I'm nothing like my dad. You're better. You're my best friend, Albus. We're going to use a time turner to save Cedric Diggory.
I solemnly swear I'm up to no good.
Harry Potter and the Cursed Child arrives in Los Angeles next week. Performances begin February 15th. Visit BroadwayInHollywood.com.
New this morning, 6 people are in custody accused of breaking into a Tesla dealership. Now we want you to know that we did slow this video down so it's easier for you to see. 5 of them led Upland police on a dangerous pursuit across the 210 freeway in San Bernardino County. Now this all happened early Wednesday morning. Police got a call about a break-in at the dealership. The group was spotted leaving the building, then jumping a fence toward the 210 freeway, hiding under some bushes, and then they ran right onto the lanes of the freeway. Officers used a drone to track everyone down and arrested a 6th person who was waiting in a car nearby. All were arrested on burglary charges.
6:11 right now as Governor Newsom continues to push for federal wildfire aid in D.C. He's announcing new measures to make California more fire resistant. He signed an executive order yesterday that will invest in firefighters, community hardening, and forest management. Part of the money will be used to update fire hazard maps that could change building and planning requirements for communities at higher risk. The requirements would include building homes with fire-resistant material and require homeowners to create defensible space around their homes.
Still ahead at 6, bummer news for our surfers, skaters, and snowboarders.
Yeah, why you'll no longer be able to get some gear from the most iconic brands.
And we're going to give you this live look outside as we head to the break. This is actually our LA River camera. Kind of tough to see with all those raindrops. We can tell you that the level, though, is much higher in the river this morning. Belen will be back with your full forecast coming up in just a minute.
Traffic is brought to you by Yamava Resort and Casino, SoCal's #1 casino resort.
Step into luxury. Win a Corvette every Thursday in February. The ultimate sports car for performance and functionality. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel is giving you a chance to play all month long to earn entries. Sign up for Club Serrano today, and you could be one of the lucky winners every Thursday to drive off in one of the most iconic sports cars. Only at Yamava Resort and Casino. Voted #1 casino outside of Las Vegas. Visit yamava.com for details.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've battled against insurance company giants, and we've won a lot. Injured? We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. There's only one, Morgan & Morgan.
We did a thorough check, and it looks like it's your torque converter.
What's a torque converter?
That's your torque converter.
You mean the giant metal spaceship?
At AMCO, there's virtually nothing we can't fix. AA MCO.
6:14 on this Friday morning, and we're giving you a live look right now at the dreary wet drive into LAX as the second in a pair of back-to-back storms moves through Southern California. So good idea to give yourself a little bit more time if you're heading to the airport.
Pretty much wherever you're heading, give yourself some extra time because we are seeing light rain showers and some ponding on the roadways. And you know what happens? That always slows down traffic. Even minor mudslides near our burn scars. But Belen, thankfully, no major flooding issues just yet.
No, we do have a flood advisory. In the overnight hours, that rain has been falling steadily over the San Fernando Valley. And unfortunately, it does cover the Eaton Fire, the Hughes Fire, the Palisades burn scar area. But our reporters are out there and they're keeping an eye on that for us. Now, look at some of the reports that we've received in the past 24 hours. Malibu Hills getting more than 2 inches. La Cañada Flint Ridge, 1.88. The Hollywood Reservoir, 1.75. Downtown LA, about 1.5 inches. And in Oxnard, about 1.21. We're not done yet. We still have more rain to go this morning. But as I mentioned, with that flood advisory, there are intersections that are flooded and there is ponding on the road. And just a reminder to never drive through flooded roadways. Just 6 inches of rain is enough to stall a car, and it's hard to measure the depth beneath you. And there could also be some other dangers that you can't see. So please, if you encountered a flooded roadway, turn around, don't drown, find an alternate way. Please be safe. Now, I'm taking a live look out towards Ontario because for the most part, these storm systems have really been very light over the IE and Orange County, but we're seeing that rain right now on the runway over at the airport. We have another round of slippery conditions this morning, so plan ahead for that. There is ponding, there is street flooding. The rain is expected to taper late this morning through the middle of the day, and the afternoon commute is looking mostly dry. Let me show you that using our Futurecast, where you see the first half of the day, we're looking at very cloudy conditions. It's still a possibility for some rain through about 9 a.m. Notice how the activity really diminishes over Ventura County. The San Fernando Valley starts to see some peaks of sunshine, and that rain only confined to the foothills. Now, here we are around the middle of the day. The rain is mostly over. We will team. It is going to be moving out tonight through tomorrow morning, and you'll notice we'll still have some lingering cloud cover, but when it comes to the accumulating rain, it'll be done by this afternoon and into tomorrow morning. Now, the runoff from the rain is causing some issues, and we have an ocean water closure pretty much from Las Flores State Beach all the way to the Santa Monica State Beach. The water quality really goes down after a rainstorm, but because of the fires that we had in January, now we have fire debris runoff. So it is dangerous to even be on the sand, so stay off of that because it could contain some toxic chemicals. Meanwhile, our friends in the deserts, you have a wind advisory until about the middle of the day. Look at these gusts. They're going to be picking up late this morning and during the afternoon up to about 30 miles per hour. Now let's look ahead to the weekend because the weather will be drying out. We're going to have temperatures in the 60s. We'll even have some 70s on Sunday for the vast valleys in the IE, and the mountains will have temperatures in the 50s. Now, as we check out your 7-day forecast after today, we can let the umbrellas dry out. The weather will be dry through early next week, but the middle of next week, we're tracking another system. That rain could start as early as Wednesday, go through Thursday, possibly last through Friday. The weather for the valleys in the Inland Empire over the weekend will be pleasant. We'll have upper 60s. Cool conditions continue through early next week, and there we see that chance for rain. In the deserts, you'll have 60s. The low desert will have upper 70s. And in the mountains, watch out for rock slides, slippery conditions, 50s this weekend. And that next round of rain next week could bring us a chance for some snow. So we'll keep you posted. A reminder, that QR code, it takes you straight to the forecast from the First Alert Weather Team. Get your updates there. Time for a traffic update. Here's our friend Holly.
All right, good morning to you on this Friday. I have an update out of Pomona. I've been following a traffic alert there. West 10 at the 57, there was a crash involving multiple vehicles. 3 lanes remain blocked, also blocked the West 10 connector to the South 57. So they were hoping to have lanes open by now, but it's going to be at least another 15-20 minutes until they reopen lanes. I'll continue to keep you updated. In the meantime, know that the delays start around Indian Hill Boulevard on the West 10. And then in Buena Park, this is a crash I've been following since around 4:15 East 91 near Valley View. Only the right lane is open. Traffic bunches up around Bloomfield Avenue. Alternate routes, Artesia Boulevard and also Orangethorpe Avenue. From there, noticed a lot of slowing on the West 10 in downtown LA. Near Alameda, there's a car stuck in lanes, creating bumper-to-bumper conditions out there for those heading towards the 110. West 10 5 to the 405 is going to take about 30 minutes right now. Speeds in the 20s. Doesn't look that bad through Mid-City, but due to that stalled vehicle at Alameda, it is bumper to bumper in downtown LA. Coming up in a few, we'll check conditions on the North 405 through Long Beach. Adrian, Lynette, over to you.
All right, thank you, Holly. 6:19 right now. Ahead at 6, Rihanna, as you have never seen her before. Plus, the singer teases new music.
And she is the Slayer. Sarah Michelle Gellar finally breaks her silence about those Buffy reboot rumors.
If you're still bent on blowing this fat stack of cash, there's a couple ways you could do it.
And why do advertisers spend so much money on Super Bowl spots? We have the answer. Coming up on Today in LA. We'll be right back.
You're the reason we start our day at 2 a.m. Because you make Southern California more than just a place. You make it a home. At Today in LA, we work really hard to make sure that your stories are heard, your concerns are addressed, and your families are prepared and protected. You're our inspiration. Let us be your voice. And together, we can make our home better.
I came all this way. You can't muster a bigger hug than that.
Nickel Boys is now an Academy Award nominee for Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Picture of the Year.
We have to be like knights. Checkmate.
Nickel Boys changes the way we perceive the world itself. And it's one of the great American movies of the 21st century.
That's it!
Nickel Boys, rated PG-13, now play only in theaters.
What's the secret to bringing a party together? A great meal that everyone loves. Redbird Farms Super French Drumsticks are here to impress your friends and family. Mess-free, easy to prepare, and packed with mouth-watering flavor. They'll take your game day, dinner, or snack time to the next level. Look for Redbird Farms Super French Drumsticks in the frozen section and bring home what real chicken tastes like.
Grill it, fry it, put it in parm. As long as you make it Redbird Farms.
The fires affecting Southern California communities have been devastating. We understand the losses you may have experienced. If you have suffered property loss or severe damage, call now. Our experienced attorneys are helping wildfire victims in recovering their losses and will fight to ensure that you are fairly compensated by insurance and those responsible. With team members that have been personally affected by these tragic fires, we know what you are going through. You will pay nothing up front and only if we win recovery for your loss. Call 1-800-FIRE-120.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty, I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
Rise, 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 and thrive. No pizza.
When the fires hit LA,
we were shown once again that the real-life superheroes do not wear capes. Thank you, firefighters, first responders, and everyone who works so hard to protect what we all hold so dear.
I bought the team. Kevin? I put it on my Chase Freedom Unlimited card. And I'm a cash back on a few other things, too. Starting with the sound system. That's cash! Cash back like a pro. With Chase Freedom Unlimited, how do you cash back?
It's the end of an era as once popular surf and skatewear stores, Quicksilver, Volcom, and Billabong are closing for good. The brand's operator, Liberated Goods, filed for bankruptcy, citing factors like the volatile economy, higher costs, and the rise of online fast fashion. The brands won't disappear completely, though. They will still be sold in some specialty shops.
This morning's Hollywood buzz has us feeling blue, but in a good way. Paramount Pictures just released the first trailer for the Smurfs reboot.
Please don't stop the music.
In Smurf Village, every day is a party.
You probably recognize her voice. Oh yes, it is Rihanna. She's the new Smurfette. The singer also created new original music for the film and served as a producer. The movie follows Smurfette as she leads a group of tiny blue villagers on a mission to save Papa Smurf in the real world. The flick hits theaters in July. Sarah Michelle Gellar is ready to return to Sunnydale after reports circulated about a Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot. Gellar confirmed to fans on Instagram that she is involved in a revival of the show almost 22 years after it ended. She wrote in part, "I have always listened to the fans and heard your desire to revisit Buffy and her world, but it was not something I could do unless I was sure we could get it right." While the actor also reflected on the journey it took to get to this point and thanked her fans.
For many years, I have not liked the color red because it reminds me of that woman who tried to take my husband. Remember? Jolene. But my new Pinot Noir has changed all that. I love red now.
Dolly, she's seeing red, and she hopes you will too. I love her. She just announced that her Dolly Wines brand is expanding with a Pinot Noir. It's described as silky and fresh with red fruit characters and a hint of vanilla, and retails for about $14.99 a bottle. A new offering just in time for Valentine's Day. Lynette and Adrian, will you be indulging?
For sure. Anything that has to do with Dolly, absolutely.
Yeah, she's such an entrepreneur. She's involved in everything.
Pretty
now, huh?
much.
Yes, she's everywhere.
Silky
Icon.
and fresh. That's how you described it. That's how you can describe her, too.
100%.
Thank you so much. All right, coming up at 6:30, countdown to kickoff. We'll hear from Kendrick Lamar ahead of his Super Bowl halftime show.
Compton's Kendrick Lamar. Plus, we're going to explore why companies spend so much money to advertise during the big game.
Hey, good morning. I'm John Kathy's Clean-Mac. We are live in Altadena this morning. Keep an eye on the rains. They have really subsided right now, but the K-rails, the sandbags, everything is out because they want to make sure that nothing comes off those hillsides and into these neighborhoods. Coming up.
Our First Alert Radar Network is activated for the third morning in a row. I'm tracking a slippery commute. A flood advisory has been issued just ahead when the rain moves out, and we're looking ahead to the weekend. Happy Friday, everyone. It's 6:25 as we take a peek outside at our home here at Universal Studios. We'll be right back.
Let the conclave begin.
You are steering this conclave. Exactly where, I do not know. But that firm hand of yours has its admirers.
AFI hails Rare is the film that endlessly entertains and is a stunning cinematic achievement.
Your ambition has not gone unnoticed.
Conclave is nominated for 8 Academy Awards, including Best Picture of the Year.
I have a responsibility to ensure that the decisions we make are the right ones.
This year, have faith. Conclave, rated PG.
The fires affecting Southern California communities have been devastating. If you have suffered property loss or severe damage, call now. Our experienced attorneys are helping wildfire victims in recovering their losses. Call 1-800-FIRE-120.
Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this. when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be using this. Particle 6-in-1 Face Cream for Men, the first of its kind anti-aging cream designed specifically for men. Fights eye bags, dark spots, and wrinkles. Visit ParticleMen.com and use the promo code on your screen to receive 25% off your entire order. Plus, we've got free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. www.particlemen.com. Because seeing is believing.
Montel Jordan and Shy, live February 15th. Get tickets now. Morongo!
Get ready for the big game with Spectrum. Welcome more excitement into your home as you enjoy the best TV streaming experience. Spectrum brings your entire family together with the fastest, most reliable internet so everyone can enjoy all the sports and entertainment they love. Cheer on all your favorite players on football's biggest night. With the touch of a button, Spectrum puts you at the center of it all so you never miss a play. Get in the game and save with Spectrum Internet Advantage for only $20 per month when bundled, plus a 3-year price guarantee. Call 1-877-959-6509.
At the offices of Larry H. Parker, our case files are filled with cars just like these, and each one tells a story.
If you find yourself injured after an accident, call us at Larry H. Parker. Here's a few of the results we've recovered for our clients.
With 50 years in California, no one has more experience or success.
And we believe nobody should settle for less than what's right.
Call us at the offices of Larry H. Parker. We'll fight for you.
Up to the scene of breaking news.
A firestorm.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and every hour in between, NBC4's there. Breaking news in real time. NBC for you.
Well, right now at 6:30, we've got a muddy mess on PCH. The second round of rain sends rocks, debris, mud over the K-rails and onto the road.
And we are live with team weather coverage, tracking the potential threats, the conditions right now, and when the rain is going to move out.
And from surviving the flames to supporting the victims, how a local bookstore has transformed into a safe haven for the Altadena community.
Today in LA at 6:30 starts now.
Good morning to you. It is Friday, February 7th. This is a live look outside at our home here in Universal City. Raindrops are still out there, but hopefully things are going to dry up real soon. I'm Lynette Romero.
And I'm Adrian Arambulo, and we're going to check in with meteorologist Belen de Leon, tracking the rain. And Belen, you made a great point. So it's not extremely heavy, but we've got enough of it over the past several days that it's causing some pretty big concerns.
Yes, the ground is saturated. Now we're seeing some flood concerns in a few areas, so let me show you what's happening. This is the view from Long Beach. It's hard to see out there, and since midnight, our friends over at Long Beach have accumulated close to ½ an inch. Temperatures in the 50s, and look at that, the visibility is down. So the rain that's falling right now is causing some low visibility. The weather is working against you, amigos, so plan extra time this morning. When we check in with our First Alert radar network, we can see where the rain is falling right now. We've got pockets of light to moderate rain over near the Inland Empire, especially at the foothills of the San Bernardino and San Gabriel Mountains. Right now, it's pretty rainy along the 215 and the 15, and you see those spotty showers right now around the downtown area and also through the foothills along the 210. Now, the rain, thankfully, has diminished over the Ventura County area. We're starting to see some drying there, and the flood advisory was set to expire at 6:30. That is exactly what has happened. It was in effect over the Pacific Palisades, the Eaton fire, but now things are improving out there. Just a reminder that you may experience some ponding on the roads, some flooding at intersections, so please be safe. Now, the rain is mostly going to fall during the morning. We're going to have drying conditions around the middle of the day, and the afternoon commute is looking drier. We may even see some pockets of sunshine. So the rain is going to be wrapping up today, amigos. I'll be back to time it out for you. Right now, let's check on the roads. Here's Holly.
All right, good morning to you on this Friday. It has not been Friday light this morning just because of the rain, taking you back to a problem that I've been following for over 2 hours. This is in Buena Park. Fatal collision on the East 91 near Valley View. I just got off the phone with CHP a couple minutes ago. Only the right lane remains open. Everything else is shut down. Delays right now start at Norwalk Boulevard. Looking for an alternate route, you can use Artesia Boulevard or Orange Thorpe Avenue. In Pomona, I keep checking to see if this has has cleared. They were hoping to reopen lanes by now in the West 10 at the 57. 3 lanes are closed. This has yet to clear off the freeway and lanes reopen. You can also not connect to the West 10 to the South 57. So estimated time of clearing was around this time. Sadly, that hasn't happened at this point. Delays start at town. And then from there, North 405, Long Beach to the 10, speeds in the 40s. That drive will take you about 45 minutes. It's pretty slow through Torrance, Inglewood. Looks pretty good right now through Culver City, but that'll change in the next 30 minutes or so. Over to you, Adrian.
All right, thank you, Holly. And this is what we've been concerned about all week as we've been warning you about the rain. New video shows a mudslide blocking PCH at Big Rock Drive. Caltrans crews move quickly to remove the mud, and here is a live look at PCH and Big Rock right now. Remember, PCH is still closed and remains closed through this storm because of the threat of mudslides. We're also monitoring the rainfall in the Eaton Fire burn scar.
The rain from these stores, it's been light, but it's also been very consistent. And the foothills have the potential, of course, to be a problem. That's what we've all been concerned about. NBC4's John Caddy's Klimak is live on Tannable Drive in Altadena. So, John, obviously everybody's concerned about what might happen as long as the rain continues to fall.
Yeah, which is why they work so hard to make sure that they put some things into effect to make sure that it's not much of a problem. So it's good that the rains haven't been as hard as what they could be. We got that other round that's coming in next week, though. So we got some sandbags some folks have here that they put out in front of this home. This house survived the Eaton fire. The one next to it did not. But the K-rails that you see there also placed in. County Public Works came through over the last few days. They're up and down the foothills here where they've placed this. And now they got some light. I wanted to point this out to you, too, because beyond us, this is a catch basin. And this is set up, of course, as anything comes down that hillside. It's supposed to get into that area to keep it from getting onto the streets. But you'll notice they got those slats in the wood that's there. That's wood, Joel? You went up closer to it.
Wood.
It's wood. So the slats in the wood there, it still allows for any water to come through without sending any of the nasty stuff and the big rocks and all that to come through as well. Now, again, as we have some more light, I want to just bring you further down here because now that we know what is burned up here on these hillsides, you can really get a good feel as to what is left behind. With nothing left there to suck up that water as it rains, all of this has the potential to just slide right down. You can kind of see a little bit of the mud that's in there that's already begun to slide that hasn't made its way to the roadway. But the potential for all of that to come down, that's the concern for Public Works. That's why they got all this set up, and that's why they're keeping an eye on all this, as are we, to let you know if anything changes. Reporting live this morning in Altadena, I'm John Caddy's Klimak today in L.A.
It's a great visual of what's looming there, John. Thank you for that. And now is a great time to download our NBCLA app. You can monitor the rain in your neighborhood and sign up for customizable alerts. That QR code right there on your screen also connects you with our First Alert weather team.
Amid our ongoing wildfire recovery, LA Mayor Karen Bass visited the Palisades yesterday to assess the debris removal process. She joined EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin to see what progress has been made in Phase 1. The parking lot at Will Rogers State Beach will serve as a temporary site for hazardous materials removed from homes. Earlier this week, we learned 4.5 million tons of debris was created by both the Palisades and Eaton fires. That's close to half of what LA County would have for an entire year.
6:35 right now. More than 100 million people are expected to tune in to Super Bowl 59 on Sunday, and advertisers are paying a record amount to showcase their brands during the game. CNBC reporting that some spots sold for $8 million each. But why do companies spend so much money, especially as traditional TV shifts to streaming? Well, market researchers say the Super Bowl is unique because people actually want to watch the commercials. The average ad is 20 times more effective than a regular ad, driving perceptions. And when they feature a celebrity, there's an even bigger payoff for these companies.
When everybody has seen the same ad, all of a sudden that's something people can talk about and they can interact with it. And best case, it can turn your ad into a discussion topic, and it can even emerge as part of the whole culture and society.
More than 123 million people watched the Super Bowl last year. Nielsen says that helped set the record for the largest audience for a single network telecast in history.
Well, there's also a lot of hype surrounding the halftime show, right? As you know, Compton's own Kendrick Lamar will take the stage fresh off his Grammy triumph, where he claimed 2 of the night's biggest awards, Song and Record of the Year.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
The rapper says he aims to infuse his LA hip-hop flavor with that of New Orleans. Yesterday, he shared how he's gearing up to perform.
Maybe it's a 2-mile warm-up or a mile warm-up, maybe some push-ups, just to get the body movement. Sometimes you be out on that stage, man, you need some oil on your knees a little bit to get moving and get cranky. So physically, yeah, I'm just exercising the body, a little bit of stretching, a little bit of all that.
He's human. He's human. All right, Kendrick also dropped a hint. He said SZA will join him on stage at some point. Today, we'll have live team coverage of the Super Bowl this morning, from the final preps to the NFL fan experience, even how to create the ultimate game day spread. Plus, NBC sportscaster, one of our favorites, Mike Tirico, will be in the Big Easy to break down the Chiefs-Eagles matchup. It all starts at 7 o'clock, right after Today in LA.
Can't wait. All right, 6:37 right now. We'll still ahead honoring Black heritage in Altadena.
How a bookstore owner has transformed her business to help fire victims.
And cutting-edge technology. It can detect fires before they spread. We're going to hear from an Orange County teenager who invented it.
Okay, soggy conditions out there, wet roads once again, and we have a wind advisory in effect for the mountains and the high desert until about the middle of the day. So this is going to make traffic or travel a little more challenging for you. Coming up, I'm timing out when the rain leaves and the all-important weekend forecast. Here's Holly staying on top of all of the traffic issues.
Thanks, Belen. Good morning to you on this Friday. We're back in Pomona. I just got off the phone with CHP a minute ago. I was told 3 lanes remain closed on the West 10 at the 57. They were hoping to reopen those 3 lanes and also the West 10 to the South 57 connector by now. Right now, unknown duration on when these lanes and that transition road will reopen. Coming up, I'll tell you about a new problem that just popped up in San Dimas at 6:39, and you are watching Today in LA.
Friday, Damon Wayans Jr. from Papa's House. And next week, Kane Brown, Renee Zellweger, and Anthony Mackie.
Crazy. Crazy.
Today at 2 on NBC4.
Your SoCal Honda dealers are here to lend helpful hands in the community and dealerships with Honda hybrids that give you 614 miles of continuous driving. To save on a new Honda hybrid from just $299 a month, search your local Honda dealer today.
It is no coincidence that fate brought us together.
The Brutalist is a monument of movie making that reaches for the sky.
It's ambitious.
And now it's been nominated for 10 Academy Awards, including Best Actor,
Perfect,
Best Director,
Sold it! Finish!
and Best Picture of the Year.
We can start again.
It's a new great American epic. The Brutalist, rated R, now playing in theaters everywhere.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
This is what Molly's family doesn't call the media room, because it also hosts the neighbors for game night. The neighbor's dog is invited too. So this is how Molly deals with random clutter, tacky remotes, ugly wires. This is a spot for Molly's family heirloom. It's a long story. And space for Molly to support Alan's new hobby. That's clever. That's one of Molly's favorite words. So is this. This is designed by California Closets, a company that's been listening to customers like Molly for nearly 50 years. This is our logo. Schedule your free design consultation now.
How can you know which mattress provides exactly the right level of support for you?
You can't, but Sit and Sleep's exclusive bed match technology can. Bed match measures your height, weight, your shoulders, waist, and hips. Then, Bed Match recommends the level of support you need and which mattresses are right for you. Right now, pay 0% interest for 36 months. Plus, save up to $1,000 on Serta and up to $900 on Beautyrest Black.
Sit and Sleep will beat anyone's advertised price, or your mattress is free!
The most. Get $1,000 down payment assistance towards a new Honda for all first responders and impacted LA County residents. Search your local Honda dealer today.
It's the ultimate Super Bowl week on Today.
You're going to the Super Bowl!
This morning, join us live from New Orleans. Plus, we're getting fired up with the fans as the Eagles and Chiefs prepare to face off.
Let's go!
This morning, only on Today.
Time now is 6:42 as we take this live look from Mount Wilson. Not our typical view with that cloud cover and the raindrops on the lens. Meteorologist Belen is tracking the rain in your neighborhood. We're going to check back in with her in just a few minutes.
Happening today, defense attorneys will make their case for rapper A$AP Rocky at his felony trial over 2 assault charges. The rapper is charged with firing a gun at a former friend in Hollywood back in 2021. The defense will call witnesses today to try to poke holes in the prosecution's case. Rocky denies shooting the gun at his former friend and pleaded not guilty. Now, if convicted, A$AP Rocky faces up to 24 years in prison.
We've been telling you about people impersonating ICE agents. It's been happening all across the country. And yesterday, the LAUSD confirmed that it had 3 cases in just the past week. 2 were reported by parents and students, a third by a bus driver. And the superintendent says all 3 instances were not on school property, but did happen to either students, parents, or district employees.
A bus driver who was at that point driving an empty bus, who came across someone who flagged them down, flashed a badge identifying themselves as an ICE agent. And the bus driver did what they were trained to do, closed the door and drove away.
Now, we've reached out to ICE for a comment about this specific incident, but so far have not heard back. If you are worried about ICE impersonators, the district says it has resources for families on their website. And today, NBC4 and Telemundo 52 are teaming up with legal experts to answer any immigration-related questions you might have, from procedures to paperwork. They'll be ready to take your calls starting at 5 p.m. You can call the number right there on your screen. The lines are going to stay open until 6:30 p.m.
New technology created by a teenager in Orange County could soon help fight wildfires. Now, it's a sensor that can detect a fire when it's little more than a spark, allowing firefighters to mobilize quickly and stop the fire before it gets out of control. Ryan Honoré was inspired to create this technology after the Camp Fire in Northern California. And in the 5 years since, he has developed a network of sensors that use AI to analyze heat and smoke data. The sensors then alert firefighters with exact coordinates, buying firefighters precious time to respond.
With greater than 1,200 feet of line of sight and around 300 feet of non-line of sight, we're able to detect a fire that's smaller than 1 foot.
So motivated by the growing intensity of wildfires like the Palisades and Eaton fires, Ryan has continued to work on his design since the 5th grade. And, of course, he has won several awards. I'm sure you're not surprised about this. But coming up this Monday will be the first real-world test. The sensory AI sensor will be installed in Irvine.
Well, as part of our celebration of Black heritage, we shine a light on the resilient community of Altadena, where deep cultural roots and rich history are now giving way to a new chapter of growth and renewal. A bookstore has become a healing haven for the community.
This book is about a family who is being evacuated because of a wildfire.
Now, Octavia's Bookshelf in Pasadena is stocking stories to help kids with the wildfire disaster. Nikki High opened the store 2 years ago, the only Black-owned independent bookstore in Pasadena. After the Eaton fire, she pulled the books off the shelves and set up the place where people could bring donations.
It felt really full circle to be able to help people who helped me open the business, stay in business.
Now, the store is now back in the book business, but still making space for families who need help.
All right, you might have noticed that we are all wearing red here in studio, out in the field. It's because today is National Rare Red Day.
It's all about, raising awareness about heart health and cardiovascular health and heart disease. And we learned today, we talked with a doctor, that the heart attack symptoms for women can be different from men, which, I found to be very interesting. So sometimes women who are suffering from heart attacks, they develop symptoms like shortness of breath, anxiety, upset stomach, and didn't know that the symptoms could be different.
The doctor was great by telling us, a lot of people thought, heart attack, stroke, all those risks are really middle-aged men. But that is not the case. So
Yes.
It's really good about raising awareness. And plus, I think we all look pretty good in red.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm
Not for the
just
safeguard your
saying.
hearts.
It's about raising awareness, but it's
Yes.
also about looking
Red's a
good.
great color, a bold color.
I love that we all did it together as a team, and including our field reporters out there as well.
And you wanted to point out, we're not making any type of recommendation for what team we're rooting for in the Super Bowl.
It's
right?
nothing to do with the Super Bowl, my friend.
No, but a message to all the women, especially mothers. I know how we could tend to put our family members and our children, our husbands ahead of ourselves, and it's important to be friends with our primary physicians and stay on top of our health.
100%.
All right, okay. Go Kendrick Lamar. That's who I'm cheering for.
That's who we're cheering for.
Yes. And guys, I want to show you something interesting. Look at the humidity right now. The humidity, 100%, 90%. The air is so saturated. It's raining, y'all. And this is it. This is the last round, and it's mostly going to affect us throughout the morning. By the afternoon, this rain is going to be gone, and I'm seeing our weather models. It's much drier for the afternoon commute. So this morning, if you have to leave the house, leave with plenty of time. In fact, you're late already. You should be on the roads. The weekend will be much drier. The temperatures will remain cool. We will have some high clouds, but we're going to get a nice little drying trend before another round of rain next week. Now look at the hour-by-hour forecast in the valleys, where this morning the chance of rain will be with us mostly throughout the morning. Cloudy conditions, slippery roads, temperatures in the 50s. Here we are looking at the weather around noon, 66 degrees. And notice how that chance for rain really goes down during the afternoon. We may even see some peaks of sunshine with temperatures topping out in the 60s. Now that's just a bit warmer than yesterday. I'll tell you why. We could see some sunshine this afternoon, so that will help boost our temperatures just into the low 60s. So not a warm day. You still need the sweaters and jackets. Here we are taking a look at our futurecast, the weather model. When and where is it going to rain? It is mostly going to happen this morning. I'll stop the clock at 9 a.m. Notice we have a few light showers at that time around the middle of the day. We have some drying conditions over in Ventura County, the San Fernando Valley. Still seeing some lingering rain near the foothills of the Inland Empire, the San Gabriel Mountains, the San Bernardino Mountains. But here we are this afternoon. You'll notice we'll just have some cloud cover. Things look much drier, and the drying trend continues this evening and into tomorrow. So the weather over the weekend is looking nice. Numbers this morning, we're chilly. We're in the 50s. It's actually not as cold as yesterday, but you need the umbrellas, you need the jackets. Big Bear temperatures right now are at 37 degrees. And those high elevation mountain peaks, we're seeing a little bit of snow. Not expecting for it to impact any travel, but the roads are slippery, and watch out for rock slides through those mountain passes. The temperatures this afternoon in the 60s, cooler than normal, and over in Big Bear, 45. So unfortunately, the runoff is causing some poor water quality, but look at what it's doing to the air quality. We've got some fantastic air. We're in the green all over the place, so that rain has really come in to clean out our air. Now looking ahead to Sunday, and here's the forecast for us. Just in time, the storm is moving out, and we're going to have great forecast. So if you are doing any parties, gathering on Sunday, around kickoff, 65 degrees at 3:30, halftime 60 degrees, and by the end of the game, temperatures at 54. So if any of your gatherings are outdoors, make sure you bring some layers. Now the weather over the next several days is going to be drying out as we say goodbye to this system, but we will keep those cool temperatures. We're going to be under the influence of this trough. Now I'll stop the clock next week, because that's when we could potentially be seeing the chance of rain as early as Wednesday, but possibly continuing into Thursday and even Friday. So we're still several days away. The team's going to be working hard to get you all the details as soon as we can. Here's your 7-day forecast. The weekend, mid-60s, cool through Monday and Tuesday, and there you see the numbers dropping for the middle of the week with that chance for rain. And a reminder, stay out of the water. The water quality is not good. The forecast for the valleys, the Inland Empire, mid to upper 60s this weekend, then low 60s early next week, then down to the 50s for the middle of next week. The forecast in the high desert, you've got wind and you've got rain today, calming down over the weekend. Pleasant in the low desert, upper 70s. And here's your weather for the mountains. After today, we're drying out, but next week, that next storm could bring us a chance for some snow. A reminder that QR code takes you straight to the First Alert forecast and updates from our team. Now let's talk about traffic. What's going on, Holly?
All right, a lot. And another traffic alert just went into effect. This one in San Dimas, North 57 near Covina Boulevard. The left lane is blocked. Estimated time of clearing shortly after 7 a.m. We're noticing bumper-to-bumper conditions that start at the 10. From there in Burbank, there's an overturned SUV in lanes on the South 5 near Alameda. As you can see, a sea of red heading towards the 134. Those delays start at Empire. And then in Buena Park, I've been following this since 4:15. This is a traffic alert on the East 91 near Valley View. Only the right lane is open. Still no word on when lanes will reopen. And at this time, we see delays that start at Norwalk Boulevard. Noticed a ton of slowing on the West 210. Glendora to Glendale Drive is going to take about 45 minutes right now. Speeds in the 20s. It is packed through Glendora, Azusa, and Monrovia. Traffic lightens up a bit through Arcadia and Pasadena. South 405, Mission Hills to the 105. That's going to take about 50 minutes right now. Speeds in the 30s. It is busy through Van Nuys, Sherman Oaks, and also Bel Air. And then on the West 105, Downey to LAX, 35-minute drive. Speeds in the 20s. Coming up, I will take you back to Pomona. Lynette.
All right, Holly, thank you. And join us live coming up at 7 a.m. for Today in LA streaming. You'll find our NBC4 Los Angeles News channel on Roku, Samsung TV Plus, Peacock, and other streaming platforms. You can scan that QR code right now and take you with us as you head out the door. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
A blind spot that's never out of sight. How it should be. The Hyundai Tucson.
Get 1.99% APR or up to $1,250 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
The fires affecting Southern California communities have been devastating. We understand the losses you may have experienced. If you have suffered property loss or severe damage, call now. Our experienced attorneys are helping wildfire victims in recovering their losses and will fight to ensure that you are fairly compensated by insurance and those responsible. With team members that have been personally affected by these tragic fires, we know what you are going through. You will pay nothing up front and only if we win recovery for your loss. Call 1-800-FIRE-120.
I bought the team!
Kevin?
I bought the team! I put it on my Chase Freedom Unlimited card. And I'm a cash back on a few other things, too. Started with the sound system.
You're right from deep.
That's cash!
I prefer the old intros.
This is way better!
I don't think so.
Steph, one more thing. The team owner gets 5 minutes a game.
All right, let's go then.
Cash Brothers. Dad!
Cash back like a pro. With Chase Freedom Unlimited, how do you cash back? Chase, make more of what's yours.
Touch can mean so many things, even for children with moderate to severe eczema. Touch can stir a sense of wonder, can make a ride go smoothly, and make a smile stretch ear to ear. Dupixent can help your child stay ahead of eczema with clearer skin and noticeably less itch. When a touch is all in good fun, Dupixent helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your child's skin from within. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma or other medicines without talking to your doctor. Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists. Help your child feel the heal and see the difference. Reach out to your child's eczema specialist today.
6:55 right now. Mudslides are causing some problems in Malibu and the Pacific Palisades this morning after a downpour of rain overnight.
NBC4's Lauren Coronado is live in Malibu with an update on the conditions there.
Lynette, Adrian, good morning. Rain is starting to pick up. We had a little bit of a break the past 2 hours or so, but we're on the corner of Big Rock Drive and PCH right now, where part of the hillside came crashing down, sliding down, I should say, earlier overnight. And now that the sun is up, you have a better look at some of the aftermath. It's already cleaned up, cleared from PCH, but you can see what public works crews have been doing. You have a line of K-rails here trying to keep any kind of debris from falling onto the roadway, but I want to show you what it looked like overnight. Crews were quick to clean up this mess. Even though PCH is closed, there are still emergency vehicles and utility crews trying to make their ways through. Then you think about the greater impact. All of the homes perched above PCH, homes, plots of land are facing landslide threats. And now to some new video from this morning, about a mile north of Sunset, not far from where we're at right now. Mud from this slide just overtook the K-rail. Of course, those K-rails are designed to stop mud and debris, but the weight of the land is just too heavy. Back out here live, want to show you sandbags that surround this storm drain on PCH. It's a similar situation up and down the roadway. Of course, just another precaution as crews have been gearing up for this current rain event. Reporting live here in Malibu, I'm Lauren Coronado for Today in LA.
Lauren, thank you. 6 people are in custody accused of breaking into this Tesla dealership. 5 led Upland police on a dangerous pursuit across the 210 in San Bernardino County. This happened early Wednesday morning. Police got a call about a break-in at the dealership. The group was spotted leaving the building, jumping a fence toward the 210, then hiding under some bushes. They then ran right onto the lanes of the freeway. Officers used a drone to help track everyone down.
Nearly 5 years in prison for bank and tax fraud. That's the sentence a judge handed down for Ippei Mizuhara. The former interpreter for Shohei Ohtani stole almost $17 million from the Dodgers superstar. In addition to time behind bars, Mizuhara must also pay back all of that money, plus $1 million more to the IRS. He is set to surrender on March 24th.
A judge paused President Trump's effort to slash jobs from the federal workforce, at least until Monday. Employee unions filed a lawsuit arguing only Congress can make these cuts. A senior administration official tells NBC News that about 60,000 workers out of more than 2 million who were offered the deal have taken it. That's far fewer than expected. The White House is trying to apply more pressure now, warning that workers, well, their jobs might be in jeopardy, while Democrats have been arguing that the money that was promised to them isn't necessarily guaranteed.
Well, we're about to wrap up the show, but just a reminder that you can access the First Alert forecast at any time. Download the NBC LA app. Our First Alert radar network is activated, and it's showing some light rain right now through the LA County area near the foothills. Over in the Inland Empire, it's falling very lightly. Also seeing rain affect the Monrovia, Glendora, El Monte area. The view right now from a very soggy runway over in Ontario where they're seeing that rain. So it's going to be another slippery morning commute. Watch out for ponding and street flooding. Amigos, the rain tapers out late this morning through the middle of the day, and the afternoon commute is looking much drier. So it's just the morning where we need to get through this soggy forecast with temperatures that are coming in the 50s. By this afternoon, we'll have pockets of sunshine. Temperatures will be in the 60s, and it will be windy for our friends in the deserts. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Always keep your face towards the sunshine.
All right, good morning to you on this Friday. Our Pomona traffic alert is still in effect. The good news is it's getting close to the clearing stages. West 10 at the 57, 3 lanes are closed. The West 10 to the South 57 connector is also blocked, but that's about to reopen. And then on the North 57 near Covina Road in San Dimas, the left lane is blocked. Hopefully this clears in the next 10 minutes or so.
All right, so the Super Bowl is this weekend. It's Super Bowl weekend. Any big plans, guys?
Not. I wish I had exciting plans, and I don't, but I will watch the game and the commercials.
Our big plan is we get like maybe the first quarter, and then we have to go to bed. Right? Exactly. Stay up at least till halftime. Are you really?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, my dad's in town, so I'm going to watch it with him, so it's kind of a guy's night. How about you?
I have a date with pizza and wings.
Am I a wing?
Right, the news doesn't stop here. The Today Show is coming up next. Have a great weekend. Talk soon.